What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. It's time for Round Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Rob.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Do you watch I'm doing good. Do you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No, I do not.
So there's this bit that Larry David does where someone approaches him and they're talking and he goes pretty good. And it's just he does it
I
like
like that.
once every 3 shows. It's pretty funny.
I'll
What's
have
up,
to
chat?
give that a try.
Messy Fresh is
Hello, chat
here.
room.
Uh
That's my
Rent
husband.
Bel Muerte 66 is here. Dead Ends
Belle is
here.
amazing.
Drake Tax here. Mark Mussman's here.
Drake Tax.
Drake Tax.
Drake Tax.
Drake Tax. I took out the E for fun times. Then I'll put
He's
it
gonna
back.
be my dungeon master starting this Friday.
Oh, what
I'm
game is
playing in a
that?
game of his. We're playing in it's like it takes place in the jungles of Chult, but it's after Tomb of Annihilation and
Oh,
like all of
okay.
that stuff. He said it was homebrew mostly, but yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm playing a druid, a Firbolg druid. Yeah.
Fearbolg.
I don't know. Is that how you pronounce it, Mr. Pronunciation King?
Oh, I don't know about Fearbolg. I don't think I pronounced it that way, but I didn't know. I didn't know if I was right or not.
I don't know.
I
That's
think
what
I
I'm saying.
said
I don't know either.
Furbolg is
Oh,
what I've been
for
saying,
bulk.
but I don't
Oh,
know.
interesting.
So over your left shoulder, that TV on the wall, has that always been there?
Yes. We put it up like a month or two ago. It's
Okay, I
not
don't.
always been here, but it's been for a while.
That's the thing that happens to me is I'll be driving down the street, and if someone's in the car with me, a rare occasion, I'll go, oh yeah, that's a new place, and they go, oh yeah, it's been there since 1987. What? Yeah, I just fucking freak
Well,
out.
we've always had a TV there, but it used to be smaller. And we upgraded it with a bigger TV. But since like coronavirus started, so what, like 9 months, 8 months ago, whatever, my husband works from home and that's his computer right there.
Yeah.
And then he sits there and watches the news
Yeah.
during the
Well, yeah, I
day.
have a
So
TV up here, which is what the stream is on now, and
yeah.
it's a 42. I don't know, but and it's mounted on the wall, like near the ceiling, so I watch like news and whatever there, or
Yeah.
porn. Okay, I have a surprise.
Okay, yes, let's do it.
I have a surprise
Dildos.
for
What?
you, Robin, and I have a surprise for
Oh,
everyone
okay.
watching, and I even have a surprise for me. I don't know what the surprise is. So
Interesting.
it was gonna
It's
be that I was
dildos.
gonna take this box cutter and just slice my throat on stream for
No,
fun.
don't do that.
I'm
Please
not gonna do
don't.
that.
I can't handle that. I
I
will.
wouldn't do that to you. So
I
what I am gonna
can't.
do is
I do hate surprises, Messy is right.
I'm gonna open. You
Sorry.
can't. The camera does that thing where I'm holding a box. It's like a 2 foot by 2 foot box, and of course you can't see it, which means when I open
Right, I
it,
can't.
whatever's in it. So I order on Amazon and I do Kickstarters, and shit shows up to my house, and I just have no idea what's in this. So I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
open it.
I'm supposed to get a Kickstarter delivery soon also. So yay.
I get, emails. FedEx will be delivering this on Wednesday between 1 and 9. Ooh, I wonder what it is. Because I keep track of my whatever I do. I have like a folder in my email, like shit that's supposed to be coming. But I just dump those things in there and leave them be, and I never go in that folder, except if I'll go in there like once a month and be like, what don't I have? What didn't they send me? Oh,
I'm so
snap!
nervous.
This
It's
can't be complete.
dildos.
This can't be complete. This is only part of it. Oh yeah, this is good stuff, everybody.
Definitely a
Oh,
dildo.
that shit all just fell out. It's just cardboard.
100%.
Can we see what it
A
is?
Spider-Man dildo.
It's
I
not.
don't know what is it. I can't
not
really
a Spider-Man.
see.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to do something here real quick.
United. Is it a board game?
Yes.
Not one I've heard of.
It was a Kickstarter. Let me see if I can change my camera real
A
quick.
Swedish-made penis pump from
So
Notham
I just
in the
froze my
chat.
camera, which is no good.
Oh no! Can you still hear me?
Can you? Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
There,
I can hear
can you
you.
guys see it now?
Ooh.
It's Marvel United, the Kickstarter.
Marvel United. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a card game, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a deck building game that you play,
Oh,
and
nice.
I believe, I usually only get Kickstarters, and I'm double checking. Yes, it does have a one player element. I don't buy games at
Nice.
all unless they have a one player element. And why is that, everybody? Because I'm a lonely man in my 50s with no friends. So why am I going to buy a two-player game or more when it just sits there in the box and I never...
Oh, we'll
That's
come
right.
play board games with you one of these days.
One of these days.
We'll bring all of our good board games.
Yeah.
Let's just load up the car with board games.
Yeah, yeah. Don't leave your family at home. Just bring games.
Right. Yeah,
And
just board games.
you get here in the whole
Chair
back
to
seat, the
ceiling
passenger
board
seat, the
games.
trunk,
Yes.
everything's filled with games. Yeah. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. I
Yeah.
know I do. I know I do have my internet friends, but you can't come to my house and play a game. And well, I mean, I'm not saying you can't. You certainly can. Come on. But
see, I can't say that because I would think it's strange if people showed up at my door like, "Hey,
oh, I'm begging for stalkers.
I'm from the internet."
I had this one time. I had a stalker, and then she's now on the show. So
Yep, that's me.
Board game party at Rob's house. Well, okay, calm down. I only have like room for 2 people.
That's right. Oh yeah, your house is tiny.
I love it that Rob Pappin says Seattle, spelled wrong, is a long way from Canada, which means nothing because I live 300 miles away from Seattle. I don't live in Seattle. People do that all my life.
Yeah,
I've dealt with 2 things. People say, "Where are you from?" And I say Washington, and they go, "Oh, Washington D.C." And then I fucking grab their collar and I go, "Did I fucking say Washington D.C.? No."
Right.
The other one is, "Where are you from?" Spokane. And every fucking person that doesn't know me goes, "Oh, Seattle." And I go, no. That's like if I said to you, if you told me you were from Las Vegas and I said, "Oh, Reno." It's just no.
Yeah.
No. All right. And now I'm
Isn't
over.
Spokane on the other side of the mountains?
Spokane is like on the Idaho border. Yeah. It's 300 miles away from
on the other side
the
of the mountain. Like there's fucking
there's
mountains
a whole Cascade
that go
range.
Between.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a whole range of Cascade Mountains.
That's all I was getting at. You live on the dry side of Washington.
I do. I mean, it rains here, but it's not. It's not
like. I lived in the Tacoma area, and it just was almost rain every day. You know what I mean?
So here's Seattle, everybody. This is Seattle over here near Puget Sound on the western side of the state, and Spokane's all the way over here on the eastern side. Okay, everybody got it? Okay, good.
I lived in a teeny little town called Steilacoom.
Yep. Did you ever go near Des Moines?
No, but I think I've seen it, or like, you know what I mean, driving somewhere and I've seen it.
Yeah, it's on that stretch of
but
not 5 up.
Not Iowa. Yeah.
Right, and so a lot of
because we took the I-5 like all the time, everywhere. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was reading Spokane. That's deep inside the desolation of Smaug, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it is. So there's a city in Iowa, DES, second word MOINES, pronounced Des Moines, and there's a city in Washington, DES, second word MOINES, same thing, and that is pronounced Des Moines. And many people get those confused.
Indeed.
As you know, I'm a big pronunciation Nazi.
Right.
Yeah. So that was my surprise, everybody. I got a Kickstarter, and now it's here. But there's way more. There's going to be more packages coming, I'm sure. I think that was wave 1 of just the game. But then I got like bonuses and extras and the play mat and all that other stuff coming later.
Nice. I'm trying to think if I got anything new. Oh, well, I mean, I bought the book version of Deep Magic. That's the only
Deep
new
Magic
thing I have.
Hey, are you a fan of Rise of the Drow?
Well, so about that. I want it. Why are you laughing so much?
I know there's got to be some issue with something. Like it's never just yes or no. About that.
Look, I saw it when I went to the board game store like a week or so ago. We went just on a whim. We went out. We went out of our house. It's crazy that that's a story. Anyways,
Yeah.
so we went to the board game store, and that's what I was picking up. Deep Magic. That's what I was going for. They had some in stock, and I was like, cool. So I'm gonna go get it. And I saw Rise of the Drow while I was there, and I do what I think most people do when they see a book in a store, and you're like, I kind of like that.
You
I
put it in
flipped
your
through
purse and
it.
walk out.
No,
Okay.
I would never do that. But anyways, so I'm like flipping through it and it looks really good. There's some things I don't like about it, but that's neither here nor there. I want it. It's so expensive. It's crazy expensive. The book, they have the collector's edition version. It's $130,
Yeah, the regular
which is
book's like
just
80, I think.
ouch. Yeah, and the regular one is $80. So, it's
What
just not something I can afford.
Yeah, when the
Yeah.
Fantasy Grounds module came out, the price was originally going to be $79.99, but they lowered it to $59.99. So I only make $9 a copy instead of $12 a copy. But
Oh.
Jonathan G. Nelson is on our Sunday night show November 1st.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's going to
Cool.
come, and that's why I asked you if you liked it, because he's going to come be our guest on the Sunday night
Yeah.
show.
Well, I'll go back to the board game store and read the book some more. I don't own it, so I
Yeah.
can't commit a lot to memory.
Well, he's going to be giving
but-
away a copy of it on that show, and also he's going to be giving away other stuff too, I think he said.
Nice. I really
Well,
want to run it, so I think I might someday get it on Fantasy Grounds. It's just not a priority purchase
Right.
for me. You know what I mean? Like Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, that's to me a priority purchase
It should
because
be
it
for
has
everybody.
so
Yeah, it's
much
got
useful stuff.
all the new
But
stuff.
right, yeah. I would only buy Rise of the Drow if I'm going to run it.
Right.
And currently I'm still deciding that. So, yeah. That's all.
That's all.
What about you though? What do you think about Rise of the Drow?
I try not to because I spent months converting it, and
I see.
if I never see it again, I'd be just fine with that.
Right.
But it's pretty. I mean, it's awesome. It's a 1 through 20 adventure, and I mean, it's a whole campaign. I shouldn't even call it an adventure.
It's
a
huge.
Yeah, it's a giant thing. The PDF was 552 pages.
Yeah, the book in the store was 500 something pages. It was
Yeah.
552. So it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, I even got I got back in the car and my husband was in the car because he was just sitting there, whatever. And
Oh, he doesn't go in
I
the
was like,
store?
oh my God. Well, we had our toddler with us and he was misbehaving. So when he does that, we try not to take him into stores because people don't like crying babies.
I'm going to tell you why you do that. Because you're the best parents in the entire planet Earth, and that's what you should do, and everybody should follow your example or jump off a cliff. Those are your two choices.
Yeah. I mean, and we've always been this way. If we're both together and our kids are like little, because right now we have a little kid, but
Yeah.
we've also done this with the previous two. If they act crazy, we usually one of us will just sit in the car and deal with it while the other one does what needs to be done, go into the pharmacy or whatever. I don't like taking crazy misbehaving kids to the store. It drives me crazy. Like they're being crazy, so it makes me feel crazy. Anyways, crazy is probably not the right word, but yeah.
Messi says just give him a shot of scotch. It calm right down.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm always flabbergasted when you're at the movie theater, which by the way isn't a thing anymore. But before, when you're at the movie theater, and especially in like an R-rated movie, a crying baby in the fucking movie theater. Get a babysitter. If you can't get a babysitter, you don't deserve to go to the movies. Oh my gosh, this guy's so mad.
Yeah.
And also on planes, but what can you do?
We've never taken our kids to the movie theater if they were under the age of 5. Like I felt like 5 was like they could sit still and watch a movie, and I think 5 was with our middle kid how old he was the first time we took him to the movie theater. So I say like 5 or older because they're kind of past the temper tantrums and crying for no reason or crying for attention. And it just things get better around that age. So.
Yeah.
3 more years until this one's 5.
I think the children that I like are when they're like 25.
That's not a child.
Yeah. Oh, it's not? Okay. Well,
No.
it is to me. I've been caught. Um, you do it as a form of like, there's certain people that get upset. Like I call women ma'am out of respect, not out of an
Mm.
indication of how old they are.
Right,
And then,
yeah.
I've called like an 18-year-old ma'am, and they're like, ma'am, and
I
I'm like,
have
calm
two.
down.
Yeah.
And it's the same way I'll call a younger person kid, and
Yeah.
a 30-year-old, I'll call him a kid, and then
Yeah.
because it's as it relates to me, right? And then, I'm how old am I? 67? I don't remember. Um, it's up there somewhere. Ether is my babysitter of choice.
I was just thinking, actually, I think if they look really young to me, a woman, if they look younger than me, I think I generally call them miss rather than ma'am. And I'm trying to think of like, because I haven't, how much have people really interacted with other people lately? So, you know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah, and I don't use ma'am as an article or as a singular address. I do it in sentences like, or in a response, like I'll say yes ma'am, but I
Yeah.
won't say
Thank you,
like
ma'am.
excuse me ma'am, and she's 15. I won't do
Oh,
that.
right. Yeah.
Right. And
No,
I
see, but
don't
I
even
say,
think,
excuse me.
yeah, I
Excuse
don't
me,
even think I
miss.
use ma'am as a an address, like hey
Right.
you. I don't use it that way. I just use it as like
Yeah.
yes ma'am, or you got that straight, sister, or whatever I might say.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like it's the same
Oh,
way
oh.
Oh, go ahead.
No, 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 go ahead. Finish
I was
your
gonna say
finish your thought.
it's the same way, like people that work at the convenience store, they don't know your name, so they go, "Hey, guy," or if
Yes.
if they're really creative, they'll call you like senator or chief, or whatever.
That's
They'll some name that
okay.
they have as a thing. But I've always, yeah, guy. I don't like.
Say Cryptic says say yes, mistress. It throws them off.
Oh, I'm gonna start using
Yes,
that.
mistress. That's a good
I'm gonna
one.
start using that with my
Is it
friend Fred.
applicable to males and the word master? I'll be like, yes,
Yeah.
master.
Yes, master.
Oh, I like it. I'm gonna try it out. People
Yeah.
might think I'm weird. Well, if they don't already think I'm weird,
Well, and
then
unfortunately, because of bad things that have happened for the last 400 years, the first thought people have when you say master isn't a sexual, it's
oh,
the slavery, right? So you kind of
you're
got.
right.
But if
Yeah.
you say
Yeah, good
mistress, you
point.
don't have that problem. Um,
Not of him.
what do you say?
He said, I find that miss and ma'am are interchangeable when you're telling them that they have their skirt caught in their pantyhose. Go figure.
Yeah.
Ah, that's funny. Oh, okay. So it popped in my head, and I want to ask you, because you do conversions for Smiteworks. I know I'm totally changing the topic. Sorry, not sorry. But okay, because you've done conversions for Smiteworks, I have a question that maybe you can answer. So I love Cold Press. We all know that. That's fact. Why does some of their stuff get converted and made into Fantasy Grounds modules, but some of it doesn't? Like, uh, for example, and I might be wrong, but I just couldn't find it. The Midgard World book.
I
I
do know the answer
believe
to this.
there's no Fantasy Grounds conversion for that.
I do know the
Porqué.
answer. I can actually answer this question.
Okay.
So, let me start by saying, you know how when you do DMs guild conversions,
Uh-huh.
sometimes authors who make PDFs are really cool about. I don't want to use the word cool, but they just happen to do it in the correct format, like WotC does it.
Uh-huh.
And so converting one of those PDFs is an
Yeah.
absolute dream,
Easy
right?
peasy. Yeah.
Easy peasy. Sometimes they create their own way of doing it, and the stat blocks are switched around, and they got graphics in them, and they're half on this page and half on that page and whatever. So and then
Okay.
it becomes a fucking nightmare to do it.
Okay.
So Kobold Press, and not
Kobold.
not just Kobold Press, but many third party creators that aren't Wizards of the Coast aren't thinking, hey, I'm going to make this, and one day it's going to be turned into Fantasy Grounds, and that'll need to be
Right,
in
right,
this.
right,
Right? They're
right.
not thinking that, right? So the answer to why some of those things aren't done is the developers look at the list of available things to do, and they're like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. It's too much.
So
Yeah.
so am I correct in assuming that there are Kobold Press products in a queue for Smiteworks that just haven't been done yet?
Yes.
Interesting. So, because I've been no, no, never mind. I hate when I have like thoughts, but I can't. I don't know. Okay, anyways, thought over. That's all. Thank you for answering my question. Phew, I'm done.
Let me see if I can. If I can.
Well, I mean, like, if this kind of stuff is like NDA territory,
No,
you don't
it's
have
not
to
so
like
much, but I'm just going to look to see.
cryptic. I believe Smiteworks does almost all of the conversions for WotC and major third-party publishers.
Ooh.
I
There's
don't think there are
also-
very many third-party publishers that have their own Fantasy Grounds in-house converter. I don't think that's
Which,
very
by the way,
common.
Kobold Press does.
Do they now?
Well, I don't want to say they're in-house, but like I'm looking at a spreadsheet right now that says Midgard's Player Guard, Eldritch Lairs, Demon Cults, and Secret Societies, and then a note that says Kobold Press may have internal developer working on it. That doesn't mean they work at Kobold Press. It just means they found somebody like me that'll do it for them, and they worked it out.
You don't say.
Yeah, but
So I could reach out to Kobold Press someday and be like, "Hey, I'll
could.
do your Fantasy Grounds conversions
I'll never
for
do
you."
another conversion for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but I would so work for Kobold Press though. Like hands down dream job. I don't even give a shit if they hire me to be their janitor. I will work at Kobold Press.
I'll bet you could get Wolfgang to hire you as the janitor.
Probably.
Can I be the and then 15 years later you're the CEO.
Yes.
That's the American dream.
Well, don't say that because then he won't hire me.
Well,
Nobody
no, but
hires
he's gonna have to
with the
retire
intent
someday.
of
15 years sounds good.
True,
to me.
but okay. Fair
I'm not sure
enough.
how
All
old
right.
he is. He's
I'll
probably my
accept.
age. So when he's 70.
I think so. I mean, I know he's been on the scene for a long time.
Yeah,
Wolfgang Bauer.
Most
that
of
is.
those guys, the guys who started Paizo and Wolfgang,
TSR.
and yeah, they all worked for TSR or WotC. Yeah.
Yeah, long time ago, in a galaxy far away.
Yeah. Speaking of which, have you seen the Mark Hamill, Patrick Stewart DoorDash commercial? Hilarious.
I don't think so.
Has anyone seen it?
I don't think I've seen it.
You can look it up on YouTube, I'm sure, but it's funny. I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it. It's got spoilers.
I did see Mark Hamill in The Big Bang Theory, which I finished, by the way.
Oh, that
All
was
done
an
with
excellent. That was an excellent series. Yes, I saw every episode.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yes, Mark. Yeah, they had a lot of famous people in there.
Yeah, Will Wheaton, Mark Hamill.
Will Wheaton, Mark Hamill, Bob Newhart.
Wheaton.
Stephen Hawking. They had him in there.
Yep, Stephen Hawking.
I want to say some of the other Star Trek people were in there, like maybe LeVar Burton. And,
LeVar Burton was
Brent
in a few
Spiner.
episodes. And yeah, the guy who played Data.
Yeah, Brent Spiner. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
I saw when Brent Spiner came out. Nobody knew who he was until Next Generation, which was started in '87. Right. And during the run of that show from '87 to '94, I saw him in another movie, like a TV movie of the week that he had done prior to that. And the other person in the movie with him was Christian Slater when he was 12.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah, it was
That's
so
funny.
funny. Christian Slater's a huge Star Trek fan. He's in a Star Trek movie. He's in Star Trek 6. Yes, he is. Yep, he's in Star Trek 6.
Huh.
Just briefly.
I need to rewatch them all now.
I just watched Wrath of Khan the other day again. I love there's certain movies that I love to rewatch, and they're odd. That's not an odd choice. Wrath of Khan isn't odd, but an odd choice of movie for me that I love to just watch over and over again. 1993's The Firm, starring Tom Cruise. I love that movie, and I love to just watch it 25 million times.
I've never seen it.
It's about lawyers and yeah.
What?
It's really it's totally good. It's totally awesome. And then, of course, Hunt for Red October, I just watched again the other day. And then I had to watch all the Jack Ryan films.
Yeah. But I've read the book, The Hunt for Red October.
And you've never seen the movie?
I read the book a long time ago. Yeah, I've never seen the movie.
Did you like the book?
I mean, I was in 6th grade when I read it, so
when I was
It was about like submarines or something,
yeah, so
right?
2 years. That's what it's about. Who else reads books
Look,
about
I was in
submarines?
sixth
My
grade
dad.
when I read it. Okay.
So my 2 years. So you first of all, you know that I'm not a reader. I don't read.
Right, right,
But
right.
I
I
thought
know.
I'm gonna do this. This is a popular thing. Everyone's talking about it. This is like 2 years before the movie. I was like, I'm gonna read this book, and I sit down and I open it up and I go and I buy the paperback and I'm ready. I spend my $3 or whatever and I get it and I'm all excited, and it's like this thick, you know.
Yeah, it
And then
is.
I open it up and I'm reading it, and I'm intrigued by what I'm reading, but I get to like page 3, and like the doorbell rang and I'm like, I'm out forever, and I closed the cover and I never picked it up again.
That's funny.
But I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And
I've
it's
never
got
seen the movie.
oh, it's
There's a
great.
lot of books I've read that I've never seen the movie to. Like, I've read Of Mice and Men. Well, I've seen bits of that movie though, actually, so I take that back. I
The
guess
one
that
with
counts. Um,
Lieutenant Dan with Gary Sinise, 92 version.
sure.
Well, that movie's been made like 10 times, right?
I wasn't aware. I don't know. I've read a lot of Shakespeare. Did theater when I was in high school, so we used to like read a lot of Shakespeare. And I know that there's like a bajillion movies, even for the like not Romeo and Juliet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the other other things by Shakespeare. Um,
The Montagues
for
and the
example,
Capulets. Yeah.
Antigone is like my favorite play by Shakespeare. It's called Antigone. And it is amazing. It's about Oedipus Rex. It takes place after his play about Oedipus Rex, which I think was called Oedipus Rex. I could be wrong though. Anyways, I digress. I really like reading. I much prefer reading to um movies. But my husband and I watch movies, and he's seen a lot more than I have. And I'll watch with movies with him, and he's a lot like you. He's like, "Oh my gosh, you haven't seen that? You should watch it." And and then we watch it. So, yeah, I'm
That's
catching
so
up
funny that
to
your
all
husband,
you
you guys have been married
normal
for so
people.
many years, and every once in a while he'll still say to you, like, oh, you haven't seen that? I would have said that
Yes.
to my wife in the first week. We would have gone through every movie ever made. Like, you haven't seen that? Here, come here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have kids, so sometimes it's impossible. Or like sometimes there are movies we can't really watch when the kids are awake, so we have to wait until they're sleeping to watch certain kinds of movies or whatever. So it's life. It is what it is. But I would say on average we watch about 3 or 4 movies a week at least.
Yeah.
Right now I finally had seen a set of movies that he had never seen, so I'm making him watch movies for like one of the first times. It's very rare. Anyways, so we're watching the Harry Potter series because he's never seen it. Um, well, he's seen it like bits and pieces, like I have with other movies.
Yeah.
So he's watching Harry Potter now. Yeah.
McClancy says
Yay.
he used to try to finish a Clancy book on a coast-to-coast flight. Are you related to Tom Clancy, Mark? Is that or is it just a coincidence?
The only thing I know about Tom Clancy are the video games,
Right. All
like
based on his books,
Rainbow
of course. Yeah.
Six,
Rainbow
and
Six
yeah,
was going to be a movie. They just never did it yet.
yeah.
But Hunt for Red
My son
October,
plays those games.
does he? I think if you
Mhm.
watch Hunt for Red October, you will really, really enjoy it. It's
I
one of my
will
top
look it
10
up.
movies of all time.
We'll have to get it
Top 10.
and watch it.
Yep, and
I'm sure my husband is
I think
watching,
you can
so
watch
he's
it
probably
free
like,
now.
"All right, Hunt for Red October."
It's on some cable whatever free. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think I think you can find it. Bullets. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. We're really bad at transitions. We'll get better. We'll get better.
So anyways, naked people.
Next. Yes. Yes.
I'm just so excited about you watching Hunt for Red October.
It's all like
I wanna
it's
talk
all
about
I'm
it.
thinking about now.
I bet
Let's talk about it.
I wonder
Go watch it yesterday.
Is there anyone in chat right now who has not seen the movie released March 2nd of 1990? I'll tell you why I know that specifically. The Hunt for Red October. Is there anybody who has not seen the Hunt for Red October? Well, in chat. So the reason I know that I moved to Phoenix in January of 90, January 8th actually. And well, we got there on the 10th, but we left on the 8th. But anyway, so I get to Phoenix, and every bus, every city bus on the side, you know how they have ads on the sides of buses?
Yes.
Every single bus in all of Phoenix just had that thing was just a red background with 3-2-90. That's all it said.
Oh.
It didn't say anything about Hunt for Red October or anything. And then I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? What's on March 2nd? And turns out, the
That's my
color
mom's
scheme.
birthday.
Is it? She was born
It's my
in
mom's
1990.
birthday.
That's amazing.
Well, not 1990, but March 2nd is her birthday. I'm sorry. Continue.
Only people that don't like Princess Bride have seen Hunt for Red October. It's never gonna leave.
Well, I mean, The Princess Bride is a terrible movie.
Wow. So, it's just so funny because you're the only person who thinks that. So,
well,
so Hunt for Red October comes out, and I'm like, oh, 3-2-90, I get it. And then I watched it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I've seen that
Well,
movie.
good.
I'm not even kidding. I've seen that movie 80 or 100 times. It's one of those things that even if you know the plot, even if you know what's going to happen, it's like Star Wars for some people. You already know everything. You can memorize the whole dialogue. It's just I don't think that word means what you think it means.
But the fuck says in the movie.
I know. Inconceivable. I do not think that word means what you think it means. So anyway, Hunt for Red October, The Firm, top favorites. Top favorites.
I'll look them up, find them, and watch them.
And if I'm ever bored, I'm watching one of those movies probably.
In my defense, though, I just want to say, I actually do like a lot of movies that most people don't like. And sometimes I don't like movies that most people do like. If that makes any sense. But, okay, so I used to play World of Warcraft.
Yes.
And Warcraft got a movie just a few years ago.
Yes.
Like within the last 5 years. There was a Warcraft movie. I thought it was fucking amazing. I loved that movie. I've seen it like 10 times now. But apparently it was not well received.
No.
By
people hated it
at all. Yeah. But I love that movie, and I think in order to love that movie, you have to have been a World of Warcraft player and a person who pays attention to the story in the game, not somebody who just plays the game to smash goblins or whatever.
That was
me. You know what I mean?
I started playing WoW in 2006, and what I would do is I would play. So I played for many months, like when it first started, or when I first started. I think the game came out before that, but and then they got all these expansions, and so my pattern became every year or every 18 months or whatever it was, I would buy the expansion and play for a month and then quit. And I did that for 5 expansions, and then I haven't played it for maybe 4 or 5 years now.
There's a rude term for people who play like that. I don't remember what it is.
No, you do too. What is it? You want
a term? No, I don't. There's a term for people who play like that. I just can't think of what it is.
World of Warcraft specifically, or just any game where they
World of Warcraft specifically. The community has a term for people who play only when the expansion comes out and then quit after a month or two. I just can't remember what the term is. Anyways, I haven't played World of Warcraft since the beginning of the most recent expansion, which was Battle for Azeroth. And I only played that for a couple months, and then I haven't played since. But in my defense, I would totally play World of Warcraft if I had the time to play. Yeah. I just don't have the time to play anymore, so I don't play anymore. But I used to play all the time. I super love that game. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun. And certain games I can continue to play, just keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. And then some games you're like, yeah, okay, I've had enough of that. But now there's so many choices, it's not like
there's almost too many games now.
Yeah, it's the same as it's like TV or
movies,
streaming services. When I was a kid, there were 3 networks and PBS, and that's all you got. There was nothing else.
Right.
And so some show would come on, and chances are a majority of the people that you knew watched that show because there was
Yeah.
only, there was only 12 shows at a time, right? Now
Right.
there's like 1,000 channels and
Mhm.
podcasts and streaming and Twitch and YouTube. There's no
Yeah.
now if you say a show that's maybe pretty popular with a lot of people, some people might say,
Game of
"What's
Thrones.
that? I've never heard of it." Because there's so
Mhm.
much stuff. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything really is like super fragmented too because of the way media is consumed. You could still have regular television digitally or whatever. I don't know. Up here I think they did away with like airwaves channels or whatever. Look, I'm not that smart. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, or you could pay for a cable package, or you could pay for Hulu, or you could pay for Netflix, or Disney, or Amazon, or Twitch, or YouTube. Yeah, there's too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just too much.
Quibi. Yeah.
Right. And then
Quibi.
like don't even get me started on podcasts, right? So sure, you could listen to podcasts, but you can listen to them through Stitcher or Apple or your podcatcher or whatever. But a lot of podcasts also have a video version of their fucking show,
Yeah.
and then they put that on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. It's like,
That's what
holy
this
fuck.
is. We have a video
Holy shit.
podcast, but we don't have a podcast.
Right, we don't
That's
have
what
an
this is.
audio podcast. We
Yeah.
could though if we really wanted
We
to.
could.
I'm just
I've
saying.
I've already got the idea for it. I thought of this a couple years ago. My podcast
Oh,
would be called Live and Unedited, and we would do no music, no production. We would do it just like this. Turn the fucking thing on,
yeah,
talk, and then turn it off.
that's what we're
And I
doing.
would love to have a way to get people to call into it, or I would do that on this show if I could figure out how to do it, but I don't know how to, like give out my cell phone number and then pipe it in. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do all that
Right.
stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
We
don't
need an
know.
engineer is
You
what we
can
need.
get like a Skype phone number, I think is how it works through
Oh, is that what you
Skype.
do? Okay.
I mean, I think that's one of the ways. My husband would know though, because he's smart about that kind of stuff. He works in IT.
Tara Hote, you're on the
I
air. Yeah.
I used to host my own podcast a long time ago. Um it was moderately successful, whatever that
Did you
means
have
to you.
advertisers?
And I will not answer that question.
Will you tell me
And
why
then
you
I
will
was
not answer that question?
no, I just
How dare you?
won't. And then I used to be a guest host, a guest host, technically would be the right term, on a different podcast, in the same era of time. This is the early 2010s. I'm trying not to give away too much in case this shit's still on the internet. It probably is, to be honest.
Well, but why are you ashamed of it? Was it
No, I'm not
porn? What
ashamed
was
of
it?
it. It was just some of it was very bad. Like quality wise and like that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, so you haven't moved up from that then if you're on this show.
Shut up. No, this is I mean, we're using cameras and it's not 480p and
People don't have to crank up the generator in the backyard to watch it.
yeah.
Well, they might. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
So, I have a
yeah.
long history in podcasting is what I was getting at.
Oh, well, no wonder you're.
And it's something I like doing and I've always wanted to reinstate, like do another podcast. Um I just feel like now there's too many. Like podcasting is very saturated and it's very hard to be successful in also.
Yeah.
So, there's
Well,
that.
I never had any aspirations
That's
of
what I was going with that.
doing it for money or for success or for a large audience. I'm happy with our 15 people that show up every week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, my USB.
I was just always under the impression that I have a face for radio. So I really like and it's not because I like the sound of my own voice, but I do like talking about the things that I'm um passionate and interested in. And I feel like sometimes I have decent opinions. So that's why I always gravitated towards podcasting kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was a DJ, right?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't know that maybe a year ago, but I do remember you, um, bringing that up just in the last few weeks, and we never really got to talk about it. But I did think it was really fascinating.
I went
I
to
was going to college originally to do broadcasting. That's what I really wanted to do, but I dropped out. So
I did too. I was in communications in college, and I dropped out. And then when I dropped out, I went to broadcasting school. And then I moved to Phoenix to work on the air there, and that didn't work out. And so I ended up getting, with my broadcasting degree, I ended up get or I mean my not my broad I didn't get a broadcasting degree. I graduated from broadcasting school, a trade school, Ron Bailey School of
right,
Broadcast,
yeah,
and which is now way gone,
defunct,
defunct.
which is a great word, by the way.
And as a matter of fact, the day after I graduated, they literally chained the doors shut of the location.
Oh my god.
And that was part of my reason to move to Phoenix was they had another of these schools there that didn't close, and I was allowed to go in and make demo tapes and try and get placement and whatever. But
Yeah.
it never happened. But what I did, so what happened was my buddy and I moved to Phoenix with our girlfriends, and then we got jobs. We applied to every radio station, every single one, like whether it was a Christian, anything. We didn't care. It was just radio, all of them,
I can't
and no
imagine
one
you
would
on
hire us.
Christian radio.
Yeah, and can you imagine? And then
I don't know, I can.
KWXY, fuck Jesus, welcome to the show. But
No, don't say that.
so we got jobs at what was the name of the place? It was a dance club, but it was country music, which I passionately hate. So
Me
I'm in
too.
there.
I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not my
I'm in there spinning, fucking country records, matching beats and doing all this other zick and getting on the thing going, that's right, everybody, line day. I wanted to kill myself.
Oh my
And it was
god.
like $5.15 an hour at that time, because I'm super old.
Right, yeah.
But I think it was minimum wage at the time. And I'm like, I'm in here, and so then I graduated, or I got a corporate job, which at like Ramada Hotels. It was called HFS, Hospitality Franchise Systems, but it was I was like a reservation taker, and then I went up,
Okay, yeah.
and then I became a hotel I became
Concierge.
the white glove guy that would fly to Chicago and go in the hotel and be like, you have to clean up.
Mm.
Yeah, that was me. And then I started making more money in corporate America, and I just left radio DJ by the side of the road.
Right.
And then I quit my corporate job and went into comedy, and then now I'm here. So that's the whole train.
Yeah, I mean, so like I always knew growing up that, broadcast and media, when you start, it really is at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You'll be doing the bottom of the barrel shit. And that it's actually really, really hard to become, somebody like a famous DJ or talk show host or
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're after. That's like, you'd have to be literally the needle in a haystack. And I didn't care. Like when I was younger, I was like, "Ah, whatever, I don't care." I just want to do it. Like I wanted to be on the radio or be a news reporter or something in that sort of
Yeah.
field. Just really wanted to. I was really, really passionate about it. Um, but fucking life happens and it's just not realistic. More power to the people who like stick with it because it's hard. Hard.
Entertainment is not easy. Entertainment in all
Yeah,
its forms is not easy. One
for
of my
sure.
first jobs in Spokane as a radio personality was at a station called KGA, and at the time it's all news 24/7 now. It's all news. But at the time, it was a country music station. Once again, I could only get a job. And so let me explain to people why I hate country music so much. It's not necessarily only because every song is about your ex-wife who ran over your dog with your pickup because a gun rack in the back when she was drunk filing for divorce. It's not
Oh
because
my
of that.
god.
It's because my dad had this ultimate record collection, and he had at the time in the 70s and early 80s, at the time he had one of those big, like cabinet sized, like 4 feet long with a lid on top
Yeah,
stereo
I had
system
one of
with
those
like red
growing up.
velvet speakers in it. Yeah. And
Yes.
it had a cassette and it had an 8 track and it had a,
Yes.
it didn't have reel to reel, but it had everything else. So he had this record collection, which he was into his record collection like we're into like D&D and stuff. He had
Right,
three
right,
by
right.
five cards. He cataloged every song and he wrote code numbers on it and he
Aww.
shuffled them around. So he would play. He was a postman. He was a letter carrier. So he was up in the morning about doing shit while I was getting ready for school, and then when he came home at night, he would play these records in the house. Basically, every moment he was home that he wasn't watching TV, these records are playing
Jeez.
in the fucking whole house. You couldn't get it. I'd have to go in my room and like put a blanket, But that's a fire hazard, my mom would say. But
Only if
and
it
then
catches on fire.
98% of these records were country music. And I remember, and he was like a Mr. like Columbia Record House Tapes guy. He would buy every record, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
then one time he got, by accident, they sent him YMCA, or I mean Village People. They're like their
Oh,
second band.
yes.
And then he kept
Yes.
it. He's like, I'll keep this one and I'll throw it in the mix for you, Rob. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna help. And then so that's why I hate country music. So the very first job I get is at a country music station from like midnight to 6. Fucking ridiculous.
Right.
And
That's
then I go
funny.
move to Phoenix and I get a job at a fucking country bar. Like I couldn't get away from this country music. So
Yeah.
I'm not just being a dick. It's like really traumatic for me, country music. Now I
Right.
will say classic Johnny Cash and that kind of shit, that's
Yeah.
all right.
I like
Dolly
Johnny
Parton,
Cash.
anything Dolly Parton does is fine.
Well,
But I
I
was a
like
big
some though.
Randy Travis fan just because of his voice, but plus he was just
Ugh.
in I just watched the Rainmaker movie. He was in that for a bit. I forgot
I've
about that.
never seen it. What a shocker.
It was like Matt Damon's
I've never seen
the
it.
movie Matt Damon did right after he did Good Will Hunting. So
I've never seen that either. Don't be shocked. You shouldn't be shocked. Anywho.
no, I'm not shocked.
I like
I'm just
some country music, but
really,
and by some I mean like
really
I could a handful of songs. What? Why are
disappointed.
you relieving me?
I said I'm
Why?
not shocked. I'm just really, really disappointed.
Oh, I see.
And I had to get closer to the camera.
When I was really little, like 3 or 4 years old, I think my mom has this on home video. When I was really little, Billy Ray Cyrus was famous, at the peak of his career or whatever. And he would come on TV and it would be like, some show or music video or something. My mom has this home video of me, 3, 4 years old, give or take, kissing the television. I guess I had a very big crush on Billy Ray Cyrus, but I was a toddler, so I didn't think it really counts, first of all.
Would you do the Achy Breaky Heart while you were watching?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that song was what was popular at the time. I don't know. Did that song come out around 1991?
Yeah, 91, 92-ish.
Okay, yeah. So then I was 3 years old and it was Achy Breaky Heart. So okay, and other than that, I really like Tim McGraw. I like some Tim McGraw songs. I think that I like country songs if they are not overly country sounding, and if they're love songs. I really like love songs because I am a fucking sap. Okay. So that's why I like some Tim McGraw songs because he has a lot of love songs. Faith Hill and all of that. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't. They've been married for like forever, Rob.
I don't know what happens.
They're like one of the longest married Hollywood couples on earth. Anyways, doesn't matter.
You mean Tom Cruise and Mimi Rogers aren't still married? What happened?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like I agree with you. I don't like most of the country songs that it's like I love my guns and that kind of stuff.
America.
It doesn't appeal to me. So yeah, I don't like it.
Any song that's playing on a speaker when cars are driving around making left turns on a circle, not interested.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Not interested. Exactly. That's right. That's a fucking NASCAR slam, everybody. Unfollow.
My
Um,
dad loved NASCAR. My dad was a huge NASCAR fan. I got so sick of it. Fucking sick of NASCAR. Hate
NASCAR to
it.
me is pointless the same way weightlifting is pointless. You're just picking shit up and putting it down where you found it. What the fuck? You didn't no progress.
Yeah.
Nothing. You didn't accomplish anything.
They're driving around. They're turning left. Oh my god, they're driving around. They're turning left
NASCAR, I
again.
would watch every single race if they had one car go in the opposite direction. That I would fucking watch.
Yeah. No, I don't like NASCAR. I find it incredibly boring to watch. Unless cars are crashing, but that's really morbid to like
Yeah,
that.
you don't want people
So
to
I try
get
not to.
hurt. I do want to see crashes, but I want to see like a flaming fireball, but then everybody just walks away like nobody got hurt. I'd be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
god, he's fine. Yeah. I think I just like the tenseness of it. It's the
yeah,
same reason people like watching like fail videos on YouTube, like
yeah.
bikes crashing on a
Slipping
bike
on the ice.
course and
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff. We like to watch it because it's tense and you're like, oh my god, and you're holding your breath or whatever. But then they get up and walk away and everything's fine.
yeah,
Ah, humanity. Aren't we
yeah.
awesome?
Humanity is a strange thing.
Mhm.
It's very, very strange.
Indeed.
And you're not
How are
special.
your
You're no one's special. You have a what is it? You have a 1 in 400 million chance of being born. The sperm goes into the egg, right? You're not,
Oh, right,
but
right,
no,
right.
you're nobody's special. You're lucky. You're not special. You're
Yeah.
just lucky.
Mhm.
Nobody's special. Isn't that
How
the
are
Lego song?
your
Oh no, that's everybody's awesome.
everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Yeah.
Everything is
It's not
awesome. Yeah,
everybody's
I
awesome
love
like I
that
thought it
song.
was.
It's so catchy.
What are
That
your
song
what?
is so catchy. Everything is
You
awesome.
were
Okay,
about to
anyways,
ask me what are your
yeah, I was just trying to segue, but it's all good. How are your D&D games going?
well, they're just doing fantastically. So,
Any juicy stuff going on?
so the Tuesday game has a woman who's controlling it right now that's just tries to kill everybody, and that's fun.
Yeah,
The
that's true. Oh, I
the
killed you last
Yeah, Robin
yesterday.
killed me yesterday, you guys. She killed me. She killed my character.
Sure
Um,
did.
the only game that I'm in right now, actively playing, that I haven't been killed in is the Saturday game, and we've done session 0 and episode 1, and that's it. I haven't been killed yet, and I almost
Well,
was.
you'll die soon.
Okay,
It's okay.
so
You'll die
so,
soon.
so Tuesday is Robin's 5e pickup games that she DMs now.
Yep, yep, it's
Awesome.
my game now.
Yeah, it's her game. She's took it over. And
Just like everything else on this channel,
that's right.
almost.
I'm gonna have to change twitch.tv/fuck it, it's Robin now. I'm just gonna change the name. So
No, I'm literally Rob Tui. I'm
yeah,
Rob,
we're the same person.
second edition.
You know how hard it is for me to
No,
do
no,
this video with the
I'm
two of us?
Rob,
We're the same.
second
Yeah,
edition.
second
Yeah,
edition.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right. I
alright,
see what you
yeah,
did.
I'm the second
Instead
edition
of
of Rob.
2.0, it's
Yeah,
just
okay, alright,
2e. I
cool, cool.
gotcha. All right.
Yeah, Tui,
So
I'm Rob Tui.
Friday is Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which we've been playing since December of 18, and we're on level 15 of the dungeon, and there's 23 levels.
Damn, you guys are far.
Well, but we've been playing. I mean, we're on like episode
I know, I
67.
know, I know. I'm just really impressed. I want to run that adventure so bad, but I think my players would get sick of it after like 4 levels. They'd be like, "Okay, we're done."
So wait, what's
Oh man,
67
I wanna
times
run
3? Like 201? It is 201, isn't it?
Sure,
Yeah.
math
So we've
nerds.
we've played for 200 hours, and we're what's 15 out of 23? That's roughly 2/3 of the way, maybe something like that. All right. So that's fun. That's going well. And the players in that game are Fury Fate, CJ, Urush 54, Zelakar, myself, and the DM is Joe Numbers. And by the way, stats for
Real
all these campaigns.
numbers.
Joe Numbers, hey, all the stats for all these games are available on my Discord, everybody. Don't forget.
Indeed.
And then the Saturday game we just started, DM Drake Tax, and he is the
Drake
DM.
tax.
Drake Tax.
Drake tax.
And then the players are myself, and
Not Robin.
not Robin, who was invited but refused and couldn't do it.
That's not true at all.
You were totally invited to the Saturday game, and you said you couldn't do it because you had a Saturday
I
game.
was. Yeah, I did. It's not that I refused, it's that you guys wouldn't change the day for me.
She refused. And then, so what did I say? Me, Drake is the DM, and then the players are Marbanya and Spenster77 and Diablo Bob and Maticuri. And
Indeed.
we're all level 1 at this point.
Amazing people.
Yeah, all fun.
And that's
And
Rime of the Frost Maiden.
yes, it is. That's Rime
Okay,
of...
I tell you what. I'm
Okay.
gonna make a deal with you live on air right now. Okay.
Don't put me in a corner.
You're those people you just named for your Saturday game. You kind of pretty much play a lot of games with some of the same people from that group. So when the next WotC adventure comes out, let me DM the game for that group
On Saturday night.
on Saturday night.
You just heard it. Somebody clip that shit. Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay. I'll work it out with my Saturday.
That would mean
game.
that there'll be 6
We'll
players, which is not ideal, but fine. But
fine.
since we all, because we all know each other very well, so that'll be not a problem.
Okay. Because I might, possibly, we'll work it out. We'll work out the details, but let me run an adventure for you guys. Because I know you guys like playing the official WotC adventures, right? That's kind of like your shtick. You guys played, and I assume you've played through all of them.
We're the ones that do that. Yeah, it's just
no,
us.
No. Just I meant like there are none left that I could run for you now because you guys pretty much always play them. The WotC adventures.
No, that's not true. I have not played Saltmarsh.
Oh, you don't say.
Right.
I actually really like Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Why didn't you guys play it?
I think it was because there's the Friday game and the Saturday game, but the Friday game's been going for like 2 fucking years, so shit came out and just went by the wayside. And then
whatever.
Drake. Well, so we played Waterdeep, Dungeon Dragon Heist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I DM'd that, and then Joe asked me. He goes, "Hey, would you mind if I?" I don't think he understood. Because he didn't say, "Would you mind if I DM for the next 3 years?" Yeah, I don't think he knew it was gonna. But he goes, "Hey Rob, I was wondering, do you think it'd be okay if I DM?" Yes, like I didn't even let him finish, right? I said it's all yours, baby, and we're having a great time, and then
that's good.
So Friday's been that game, like I said, since December of almost 2 years ago, right? But on Saturday, I forget what was before. I think Drake just said, "Hey, can I DM on your channel?" Because I was so burnt out on DM. I love DMing, and I really kind of miss it. But I was so burnt out on DMing. I wanted to play, right?
Right. Yeah.
So Drake
I get that way sometimes, but then I play and I'm like, nah, this is not for me.
I think I'm much better at DMing. I'm more skilled and better serve the community as a DM and not as a player. but I like to play because it's easy.
I don't think I'm a particularly good dungeon master by any measure, but I like it. I like it so much better than playing. Like I like to play every now and then, but when I'm playing, all I think about is like I should be doing 100 more things because I'm so used to being the dungeon master.
There's too many players and not enough DMs. So if you're DMing, no matter what you're doing an excellent job. So Drake said, "Can I do Avernus?"
He's already playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Yeah, he's playing it with his IRL game. Yeah.
Well, then I can't run it for you guys if he's already. He knows it. I want to run an adventure for you guys that you guys haven't played.
So the next one that comes out
cumulatively.
So the next one
it has to be the next one that comes out,
which won't be till probably
after
April.
Tasha's.
But
it probably won't be till
we
next
just started
year. But that's fine.
That's fine. All right.
Yeah, so it works out.
He did. He asked if he could do Descent to Avernus on my channel. I said yes. And then while we were wrapping up Descent to Avernus, we decided we were going to do this Ice Maiden, Frost Maiden, um, way before it came. I have the hiccups now.
Oh, I gave him to you.
Way before the adventure came out, we decided, because it only came out like last week, right?
Right. Yeah.
So in the interim, Sven ran us through. This is when you were invited.
Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Rick and Morty, and he did a fantastic thing, which was every game we randomly switched to a different character.
Loved it.
Super
I loved
fun.
it.
Because they were
Genius.
pre-gens, and it was levels
Yeah,
like 1
and
through.
it's great for a shorter adventure
Because
too.
Rick
I
and
think it was
Morty is
genius.
just like a 39-room dungeon. That's it. That's the
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Nothing else to it.
So then now we're in Frost Maiden, and then now we already know when Frost Maiden gets done, we'll have you doing whatever the next thing's called, Dragonlance. It's not gonna be Dragonlance.
Ooh,
that would be so awesome.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think it's going to be another Baldur's Gate adventure, but that is just pure conjecture. Is that the word I'm looking for? Pure.
Yeah, conjecture.
I don't know the word.
Speculation.
Sure. Pure speculation. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Words are hard. I think the next one will be a Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, blah blah blah, like Descent into Avernus. I think, but I don't know anything. Yeah, that's all. Okay, I just want to run a game for you guys.
What Drake's? What? What did it time you out for swearing? Why does it say asterisk there? What happened? Start a spreadsheet for DMs who are running games on what? I'm curious to know. On ass.
ASS is 3 asterisks. I don't know.
I think it gives 3 asterisks no matter what you put. Ass.
Oh, does it?
Fuck. It doesn't.
Type. Oh, fuck went through.
Well, I'm the streamer, but I don't have anything blacklisted. I don't have any filters or anything.
Yeah, that's weird.
ROM, ROM, Rick and Morty. I posted a link. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, it was a link.
Permit Drake takes. This never works, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Fucking fuck and fucking cock. Hold on a second. Try it now, Drake. Try to put a link now. It's not gonna let him. I don't know why that doesn't work. God damn it! I don't know why it doesn't work.
You could put it in Discord, like PM Discord.
I know at one point I didn't want people spamming links, so I turned it off, but
yeah.
It worked, he says. It worked on your machine, but we see asterisks, my buddy. It doesn't work here.
Yeah, it looks like asterisks.
Asterisks.
What a terrible word. Asterisks.
Yeah, at least you're saying
I hate words like that. Risks.
Yeah, anything with an SK-esque. XKKX.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
English is already hard enough.
Who was I watching? Somebody I really like. They were speaking. And they were saying
and then
really...
they said, etc.
Yeah, they said like the smartest shit you've ever fucking heard in your life.
Oh.
And then they punctuated it with etc. And I'm like, I'm out!
Ugh,
Luckily, I cannot remember who that person is at this moment. Because otherwise I scrub them all from the internet and don't listen to them.
Yeah, I still hear a lot of people who speak poorly all the time. Worse than me, and that's saying something.
So
it drives me crazy.
I studied reasons like why. I thought, what is this? Why do most people pronounce it etc.? What is the reason for that? And the reason is because either A, they've heard other people say it and they haven't seen it in print. Plus, it's an abbreviation for 2 words, like 2 Latin words that mean and so on that you never have seen.
And etc.
Exactly. But if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it many times in print, ETC period, you might think it's EC or ETC, but you might think it's ECT. Because I also see a lot of people write that as ECT, and then I have to go to their house and punch them in the face. But that's not true because violence is bad. I'm just making my point, etc. and so on. And also, people who egregiously abuse the mispronunciation of etc. also feel they must say it twice in a row, etc., etc.
Oh god, that's even worse.
and it's worse. But yeah, all you have to do is say etc. the right way, or just say and so on.
And so on. Yes, that is the alternative that everyone should use
Right.
anyways,
But like
because it's
I also wondered why do a lot of people pronounce it nuclear, which I have to concentrate to say it that way.
ugh.
But it's because there are many words in English like peculiar and others that I can't think of.
Peculiar is not even spelled the same way.
No, but it's the way we speak. There's very
Oh, I
few
see.
words like the way the letters are in the word nuclear. There's only like 3 other words that go that way. So
Oh, okay.
most other words are the Euler thing, and that's why people are used
Yeah.
to it. So they're just lazy and they're not thinking about it. And most people who do that have a quality in their personality which I very much dislike, which is apathy.
Mm-hmm.
And I run into so many people that say to me, "You know what I meant," and I don't like it. I'm not a violent man, but dare me to punch you in the face. Dare me to do it. Dare me.
I dare you to
No,
punch me in the face.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. First of all,
I don't think I'm a particularly violent person.
I'm a non-violent person. Like
I'm
I
trying
would
to
never.
think. I'm a very non-violent person.
That's why
yeah.
I'm so
like
verbally. Whatever the word is. What is the word? What's the word for this? What's the word for wagging a finger in front of your mouth? What is that?
Sarcastic?
Yeah, sarcastic is good. Because that's all I have is words. I don't have physical strength or
yeah.
I'm gonna get beat up right away. Also, stay in
my
house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a very like if I'm out in public and somebody does something that I don't like or whatever, I'm not confrontational. I'm not a very confrontational person. Or if I do something mistakenly that upsets somebody else, I'm very apologetic, like always, because I feel like you'll get so much further in life if you just are a doormat, basically. Which I am, I'm not very, but I am privately an angry person. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so
for example,
yeah, I want to hear an example because I have a good story.
And
Go ahead.
If I'm driving and somebody cuts me off, I will say, "You motherfucker," in my car, because you cut me off. But if I never do this, but if I were to cut somebody off and they like roll their window down to like scream at me, I would just pretend like I can't see that. I would be a fucking mouse. I'm very non-confrontational. Is what I'm getting at. But like privately, I can be, a little overly angry kind of sort of person, but I try not to be like that in public where people can see it. So I'm a closet angry person.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
So a good example of where I felt completely helpless and all I could do was use my words. Like, so I'm in the parking lot of the grocery store and I come out of the store and put my stuff in the back or whatever. And a guy in a big truck, maybe it wasn't even a truck. It might have been like an SUV or whatever. I don't know. He pulls into the space next to me and he gets out and he dings my door with his door. And he closes the door and walks right past me. And
hell no.
Yeah, I just said,
so mad.
I just said, really? And he turned around and he goes, "What's your problem?" And I go, "You just hit your door against my car." And he went over to it and he went, "I don't see any damage. What's the big deal?" And I said, "No big deal. Maybe I'd like an apology." And he literally screamed in my face and put his finger 1 inch away from my nose. "You're what's wrong with America?" That's what he said to me. And I said, and I'm thinking to myself, I think it might be the opposite of what you're saying, but so I go, "So no apology." And he goes, No apology. Fuck off. And he walks into the store. So I go and I write his license plate number down, right? And I proudly went on my cell phone right away and regaled this story. It's on my Facebook, and I put a picture of his license. And I said, "Yeah, everybody." And then I thought to myself, that does fucking nothing. I've done nothing to this man. I can't. What does that even do? And what am I going to do? Call the cops and go, "Hey, a guy dinged," and he told me I was the problem with America, and then he fucking shouted at me and ran away. Like,
right, I know. Yeah. Because you can't do anything about that.
Yeah. When I was about when I first became a driver when I was a teenager, you know, you're learning the rules of the road and you're reading the driver's instructor's manual and you're going to take your test and so you're hyper aware of everything about driving,
Mhm.
and you realize how many fucking morons, like,
Yes.
how do those 8 of 10 people on the road even have licenses, right? You notice that.
Yes.
I mean, I still do, but
Yes.
I thought of this thing where you should be able to have a dart gun and you should be able to stick it to someone's car, and they somehow can't get it off, and then when they get 3 of those, the cop comes and removes them and gives them a ticket. That's what I thought we should
Yeah.
have. But
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed. Everybody who knows me well enough knows that I'm pretty much um a misanthrope when it comes to certain attitudes people have,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
pronunciation, like doing stupid shit driving, like just aggravating the shit out of me. Like, please just don't be in my periphery anywhere.
Yeah.
But I realize that I'm a member of society and I have to deal with that. And there's Republicans. What can I do?
You
What can I
can't
do?
fix them.
You can't fix it.
Yeah. I mean, like, in that scenario, if I was in your shoes, I don't think I would have even said anything until the guy was out of earshot. And then I say shit. You can ask my husband because I do this all the time. I will complain about people, but only when they can't hear me. And I don't know, some people will say it's because I'm a girl and girls are, bitchy like that or whatever. But I just don't like, if I have a complaint about a total stranger who did something terrible that I
Yeah.
don't like or I don't agree with, I don't want them to hear me because I don't want to be in a confrontation at all. It is like, once I'm in one, I find it very uncomfortable. That's not even the right word, but I just don't like it. And it's not because I have to be the winner or I don't like losing or anything like that. I just don't. I There's something about like angry energy, like when people that
Yeah.
sounds so millennial, angry energy. But
Do you have
there's
to
just
go to
something
your
about when people fight that I just don't like it. And I think, when I was growing up, my parents were raging alcoholics and they fought all the fucking time. And they gave no shit if it was in front of us, like me and my brothers. And so for me, I don't like fighting. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So when people are fighting, I'm like, please stop. Please stop. Please don't fight. Yeah, so I don't even like fighting with my husband. If we get in a fight or an argument, which like never happens, almost never happens, I just hate it. I will be like, okay, you win, I'm done, or whatever, because I don't like it. That's all. Hate it.
um you didn't have too much trouble yesterday with GIF and GIF, but that's all right. You're fine. Uh
Well, that's different
is
though.
it different? We were having our
Yeah,
fight.
because
We
you're
were
not
having a
gonna
fight.
punch me over it.
Mm,
It's just a little different.
Um, yeah, the thing about, like, I get it, like if something happens you're like, "Ooh, I don't want to get in a confrontation and stuff." But
Yeah.
the only, which I think is good, if you can avoid confrontation in by any means you can, it's always good. You don't want confrontation. But the thing also you don't want is, you don't you definitely don't want somebody who you can, even after one interaction with another human being, you can tell that's what their personality is. This is what they're
Mhm.
like with everybody.
Yeah.
You also don't want to let them continue their life without consequence. Like, you need to let them know, hey, you fucked up. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm right. You need to know you fucked up, fucker.
Right, and
You know.
I understand that, but it's not my responsibility to fix that on
But then
other
whose is?
people. The
Whose
only
responsibility is it?
his mother,
Well,
his wife,
this guy was
somebody
like
else.
clearly, yeah, yeah,
But I mean, like, so I notice sometimes, like, what most people would consider, you know, poor social traits. If my kids do that kind of, like, I notice it. I'm like, hey, you got to stop that, because like someday if you treat somebody else that way when you're grown up, they're not going to like it. Like, you will have problems. So I always point
yeah,
that out because they're so young now. If I can, I guess, teach them like sort of the right ways to handle, having angry outbursts and things like that all kids go through. Um I'm going to, cut that shit off now so that they're not that guy when they grow up. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But whoever, all these there are lots of people out there, and it's not just men. So I'm sorry if you guys feel like I just keep saying that guy or whatever, but there are people out there in society today who don't know how to fucking be nice people in general.
No, you're right.
And
And but
somebody failed them along the way is what I'm
and
getting at.
I have a little bit of a disappointing news for you, Robin. The older you get, the more of these people you meet.
Oh, I
Yeah.
believe it.
hmm
I
That's,
believe
you know,
it.
you just gave me a good idea. I thought I would do this. I thought Rob might be a dick when I watched him on stream, but in real life he was just a dick. Just kidding. I thought
Fucked up.
I'm a nice guy, Dick. I thought it would be a good idea now that we've had this discussion that anybody that does anything wrong, no matter what it is, I can just say to them, "Ooh, sorry about your parents,"
Yeah.
you know,
Oh
because
man.
it's their fault.
Your
Yeah,
poor parents. I would phrase it that way. Your poor parents.
yeah.
Yes, it's
Uh,
true.
I see they couldn't handle you.
It's really unfortunate too, and I think the worst part is I think that a majority of people know even when they're being bad people. You know what I mean? Like I think even people out there who like yell at the cashier for taking too long or cut people off on the road. I think those people deep down inside know that they're doing the wrong thing. And that's what sucks is that
That's
they
what's
know
worse.
it's
That's
wrong
what's
and they
worse.
still
It's
choose
worse.
to do it
Yeah,
anyways. Yeah.
exactly. No, knowing that
Yeah.
they're doing wrong is worse than doing wrong, I think.
Mhm.
Because if they
Yeah.
could just stop doing that, I
Yeah.
mean,
Exactly.
if you get out of your car and you ding the other car and the guy who owns that car is standing there, why
Right
can't you
there.
just say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry I did
I'm
that"?
so sorry. It's not that hard.
You know, because when he didn't say this, but what I saw happen in my mind's eye was he got out of his car, dinged my car, saw me, and went, "Take that, fucker!" That's what I saw in
Yeah.
my head. You know, I'm like,
Like, "Fuck
Jesus
you,
Christ.
motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of new
Oh my
ideas now. Put a
gosh.
pebble in a stem and twist it and make its air leak out
I've
slowly.
accidentally dinged somebody's car and I did the quick, did I scratch it? Did I scratch it? Okay, no. Are they around? Okay, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? But I've never actually like damaged somebody else's car
Yeah.
ever, ever.
And
But I
I'm
think if I
pretty
did and they weren't there, I would leave, my contact information. Be like, sorry.
and you can, you know, I wish if I could go back, this is how I would have handled it. See, I'm really quick. Like if I'm on stage performing comedy, I can really quickly respond. But if it's like one on one in a fucking dark parking lot at 11 p.m. at night, I'm not quite
Right.
with my whole thing. But if I could go back, what I would have said to the guy was, "Oh my God, you're right. I actually don't see any damage. I'm so sorry to have even bothered you."
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
that's
because it's
called
totally sarcastic,
being the
right?
bigger man.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
Well, I mean, but it's also you're being the bigger person if you even say that. Oh, you're right. There's no damage. You're right.
right.
You know what I mean? That's me. That's me. I'm the doormat, and I'll agree with the the person who's in the wrong. I'll agree with them because that's just how I roll.
Do it. Is that McDonald's soda nice and warm and flat now?
Yeah, it's pretty gross actually, but
But
I'm
I'll drink
drinking it.
that thing all the way goddamn to the until there's air left in
Mhm.
there. You know which?
Can't let it go to waste. I'm a drink babysitter. I don't drink my drinks very quickly. This is one thing that irks me the most. So we'll go get fast food, me and my husband, and he is a drink guzzler, right? He will chug his drink before he's even started eating his burger. And then when his drink is empty and he starts eating his burger and he wants more drinks, where does he drink
He
from?
comes after
My
yours. Yeah.
drink. And I'm like, I'll take a sip and I know how full it is based on the weight. And then I eat my burger and I eat my fries or whatever. And then I go back for another drink because I try not to drink too much like while I'm actually eating. And my drink is like 3/4 gone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah, he always drinks my drinks. Really irks me.
He's an absconder, is what he is.
Yes. And he's like, "What? I was thirsty," or something like that. Like, you
He's
fucker.
defending himself. Yours gets watery and you end up wasting it.
No, I don't end up wasting. Okay, it's true though. There have been times where like I have not finished a thing of soda all the way, and I do like throw it away. Sure, that's wasteful. I'm aware of that. I've been told that my whole life. But sometimes I just can't possibly drink it all. And I don't understand if he can drink his whole drink and eat his meal and then drink about half or more of my drink, where the fuck is all that going to? Like, how, how do you consume
And
so
his
much?
legs, it
I
goes in his
figure.
legs like that.
Mhm.
Yep.
He's got a hollow leg. I do
Oh,
prefer it with no
a
ice.
drink with
I
no
don't like
ice?
ice
Oh
in my
no,
sodas.
no, can't do that.
Yeah, I don't like it. Especially if you go to a restaurant where they give you a cup but no straw. I've always found that strange. If they give you, your drink in a cup but no straw, then I definitely need it without ice because I don't
So
like drinking and there's ice in there. It's so weird.
so here's what usually happens. Like if I go to Denny's or some restaurant, this is what you'll see. You'll see if they don't pick up the glasses, you'll see 4 or 5 glasses that I've got Diet Cokes, right? And I don't know why servers do this. But I don't use the straw. I like to drink out of the glass if it's got an open, straw is for a
I don't
lid,
like
right?
it.
So
Mm.
this is what you'll see at the end of the meal. There'll be my drink and there'll be 5 unopened straws because they bring the straw with the drink and they give it to you, right? And then I just
Mhm.
set it down on the table and I never open it. So then at the end of the meal, there's 4 or 5 straws laying there. Like, is the person not noticing that I'm not opening it? You don't need to bring the straw anymore. And I'm sure at
Right.
the end they can just collect them up and put them back in the thing. But some sanitary rules or whatever probably have them collecting them and throwing them out, which is totally wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like a big thing about that, about like straws ending up in the sewers or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
they go up the
that. I'm
turtle's nostrils, and
misremembering,
you're
I'm
supposed
sure.
to use. They're supposed to be paper now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I just remember
terrible.
the
So now there's like a big ban on plastic straws,
yeah, California
or
doesn't
there was
doesn't allow
going
them
to be a
anymore.
ban.
Yeah, California doesn't have plastic straws
Yeah.
anymore. I don't live there, but there used to be the thing also with the plastic thing that keeps around 6 cans or 6 bottles, or you have to
Yeah.
cut those because otherwise the dolphins get caught in them, and then you can't have tuna
Well,
fish.
I mean,
I don't know.
Rob, you say it sarcastically, but it's true
No, no,
that
it's true.
a lot of our
I'm not saying it
trash ends up
sarcastically,
in the
but
oceans.
here's the thing.
Okay, because you
The,
sounded really
well,
sarcastic
well,
there.
the reason I sound sarcastic is when's the last time you heard that? You haven't heard anybody say that for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've
it
seen
was a thing,
documentaries,
but now it's
so
not. Or I mean, people get
yeah, I don't know. I think, well, I think part of it stems from like you have to know where to look too, because they don't really put that kind of stuff on the news anymore. But
right.
but I have seen documentaries where they talk about a lot of the problem of, trash in the oceans and what effects it has on the wildlife.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Not just in the ocean, but coastal wildlife too.
there's that big
Yeah.
like 2 mile island of trash in the Pacific that because all the
Yes.
currents gather it right there and it just stays
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
That's so
Fucking
gross too when
ridiculous.
you think about it. Yeah. But I mean, we're not perfect, but we try to recycle what we're allowed to recycle here anyways. And we have like a specific bin, an outdoor bin for
Yeah.
recycling that,
Yeah, we do
the
too.
company picks up. But not a lot of places have that. I've heard. When we lived in Clarksville in Tennessee, we did not have a
Well,
recycling bin.
Tennessee, I mean, you know.
I know. But I think we had one in Missouri. When we lived in Missouri, I think we had a recycling bin. I don't remember actually now that I think about it. No, we had a recycling bin. Where I grew up in Sacramento, California, when I was younger, we didn't have a recycling bin, but my mom was very adamant about recycling at the plant. Like you could
Yeah.
take your recyclables to the plant. But that was back in like, the 90s and early 2000s. I'm sure they have recycling bins in Sacramento now because it's California. And yeah.
So here's what's fascinating about recycling. So when I was a kid, you saved up all your cans and you went down and they paid you.
Yeah, they paid
Right.
you.
Now,
Yeah,
now they don't pay you. You can still take it, but they don't give you any money. And
right. You
the
pay
one
them
the one that's at
to
your house,
recycle.
you pay them. This is
Yeah.
it's like so fucked up. And
Mhm.
so I do recycle. I of course recycle because, my footprint and everything. But the one thing I'm bad about, and I'm purposely bad about this, is they say you have to recycle clean cardboard, right? So Domino's pizza, you're
Yeah,
not supposed to put it in there. I put it in there.
I put it in there anyways.
And you're not supposed to
We're terrible people.
put the lid. You're not
I
supposed to
leave the
right,
caps
but
on. Yeah,
I do
I
that
leave them.
because if I don't do that, I'll put the bottle in there, but the lid's going in the trash and it should be recycled.
Yeah,
But I can't, like, my
yeah,
brain
it's
can't do
plastic.
lid bottle. I've got to put it on.
Well, you
So,
know what happens though, right? So when the trucks pick up your recyclables, they go to a center, like a
yeah.
recycling center, and they have people there who open them everything. I don't know if you're supposed to put your stuff in bags, but we're technically supposed to put ours in paper bags, all of our recyclables. We don't, but we're supposed to. But anyway, so they're supposed to, at the plant, open everything and they sort it. They sort cardboard into, a cardboard section, all the plastic, all the glass, whatever you're allowed to recycle in your area. So there's fucking people who deal with that shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if I leave the caps on, I'm providing job
I'm
security
providing
for
job
the people
security. That's right.
who work at the recycling plant. So that's all.
Yep. If I don't commit crimes and go to jail, who's supporting the guards?
Oh, Scuba says we're the reason that China stopped buying American recycled
Yeah.
cardboard.
China. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
But I do my part. I sleep at night with my recycling habits.
Yeah, I mean, and I know as humans, we could all do better. Honestly, the thing that I think would say not save, but really, really cut down on like a lot of this, we have too much trash problem, is if more people stopped buying things that come in just throw away containers, like,
Yeah.
single use type of items. And if you do buy those kinds of things, you should find a way to repurpose the containers that they come in. So I'm really big, like, when I was younger, my mom was the kind of person who, like, when you buy a tub of butter, in a plastic tub, my mom's the kind of person, she would save that plastic tub. It's great Tupperware. It makes great Tupperware.
Yeah, yep.
So, sometimes I do keep that kind of stuff. Like, we like buying trail mix in a jar, and, I'll keep the jar that the trail mix came in and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I would
Yeah.
get to school as a kid and open my lunchbox, and I would look in the lunchbox, and I would be like, a fucking margarine. What the fuck is this?
Butter.
Yeah, and then open it up, and it's casserole or whatever from the night before.
Yeah.
But
I don't care. I don't give a shit. And if my kids are embarrassed about that kind of stuff, then I have not been raising them right. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a petty thing to be embarrassed
I
about.
wasn't embarrassed. I was like,
food came in.
I would go, why butter? Am I gonna eat butter? Why am I?
Right. Yeah.
And I'd open,
yeah.
okay, I see. And then this was before microwave, so he was eating cold casserole. I don't know why anybody would like that.
I like some cold casserole. It depends on what it is. Like,
tuna?
if it's chicken Alfredo, it's fine to eat cold. Yeah, tuna casserole is fine to eat cold too.
Was it?
The only kinds of casserole the only kinds of casseroles I will not eat cold is if they're a marinara sauce. If the sauce base is marinara, it has to be warmed back up. That's but if it's, Alfredo sauce or they're fine cold. Alfredo tastes fine cold. Maybe that's what it is. Well, I don't know. Try it. Make yourself 2 casseroles, one with marinara, one with Alfredo. Stick them in your fridge and eat them both cold, and then tell me which one you like better.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. All right.
By the way, Messi got you guys hunting for Red October.
I see that. Oh yeah, we had taco casserole really recently. It was fucking amazing.
Oh,
Made
I
with
bet that is
Doritos,
amazing.
chips. It was so good.
I'll bet that's
oh my
amazing.
gosh, I'm gonna make it again.
So let me ask you this: for
good.
your kids' school lunches, back when school was a thing.
Yeah, when they went to school.
Did you make like all the sandwiches on Sunday night and then put them in the freezer? You don't do that.
No. We give them, so it's really cool. Modern day schools, how they work. They have like a debit account, and we put money on their debit account, and they buy lunch at school.
Oh really? But
I'm
do they
not
have?
making fucking
No, no.
lunches for my kids. That's too
Are
much
you
work.
kidding me? Why would I be mothering them? That's fucked up. So,
No, I really
do they have the
that shit.
lunch
It's
thing
not
where they get a
1950s.
tray and they go down and, or do they buy
Yeah, and
a la carte
then
whatever they
when
want?
yeah, so they could get whatever they want, but they're only allowed like one entree, X amount of sides, one drink. You know what I mean? They can't buy
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
5 chocolate milks or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
cash
they
them
get
in,
an
baby.
entree and then right. So they would get an entree and then I think it's like 3 sides. They're allowed 3 apple slices, carrots, and, whatever the fuck else is out there for the day. And
So,
then they get 1 drink and then they check it out. And the meals, no matter what it is, it's always the same price every single day. So I think it was like $1.75 for lunch, give or take. And so we just put money like on their school account.
yeah.
So like every week we would put $20 on, our older kid's account because his lunch was more expensive, and then $15 on the other kid, and that would get them, about a week's worth of lunches. And breakfast. They also ate breakfast at school too. Anyways, so they would get to the lunch lady and they would tell them they have like a school ID number, whatever. It's like 5 digits. And the lunch lady would punch in their number and then it withdraws from their balance
Do
the
kids ever
cost of
scam
the
other
lunch.
people's numbers?
I'm sure they did, but not my kids.
Oh, okay. So,
Because, well, I think my son has bought lunch for other kids before too. So,
yeah,
which, bless his heart.
spending parents' money. Yeah.
Oh, I
So,
know, but it's still sweet.
people my age can probably remember where you would get to school with your lunchbox. I mean, schools when I was in grade school, they had breakfast, but they didn't have lunch. And then high school had lunch, but in my high school you had like I mean, now they have like fast food restaurants in high schools, but when I was in high school they had like you could get a slice of pizza or burrito, you could a la carte buy
Yeah,
what you want. Yeah.
my school had that.
But then in grade school, I would get there with my, Adam 12 lunchbox or my Peanuts lunchbox, and I would open it up and be like, "What's in
Right.
here?" And
Yeah.
my mom was a school teacher, so she had to be out of the house even before me.
Right.
So
Yeah,
she didn't
like
have time, so she would on Sunday she would just make like 5 tuna sandwiches and wrap them in wax paper and put them in the freezer and then just pull one out every day. You haven't
Yeah.
lived until you've eaten a fucking thawed out
Ugh.
frozen tuna sandwich, which I loved, but it was 50 times worse than eating a freshly made one.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But and then
No, so
and then you get, it wasn't pulled out in time and you get to lunch and you've got your 90% thawed out peanut butter and jelly sandwich still a little bit frozen, like
oh
what
my
the fuck?
god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's abuse.
I
That's
mean,
child abuse.
so when my oldest son was in, kindergarten and first grade before the second one came along, he's still, well, he was in first grade when his brother was born. So, but he was still practically an only child because we just had a newborn. But when he was in school, I used to make his lunches, is what I'm getting at. And then we had another kid, and I was like, fuck that shit. It's too much work. So, I mean, but it's true. And I think part of it has to do with my kids are really spaced out in age. Most people, I would say the majority of Americans, anyways, have kids that are 2 to 4 years apart in age. And 4 is like really pushing it. But my kids are 5 and 6 years. That's the gaps between my kids, right? So, I've got a school age kid and then a baby. And then I did it again. By the time that baby was school age, I had another baby. And babies are a lot of work. You don't
Stop
get a lot
having
of sleep
babies.
sometimes if they're not a good sleeper. I know. But so it's just really fucking hard. It's
Yeah.
too hard for me to be all go mom all the time, or whatever. So I was not getting up every day, making them lunches. I said, school has lunch. Here's your fucking money.
Is that
Buy
what you
your
said to him?
lunches.
Here's your fucking
No.
money.
But, and for
Now
me,
get up.
it was just one less stressor
Yeah.
to like worry about, so whatever. I don't give a shit. The school lunches in all the areas we've ever lived in are not that bad. Like I would eat there. And in fact, sometimes they would have parents' days and you could like go to the school and have lunch there and shit. They're not that bad. I don't know what all the school lunches are terrible. I
So
don't know what people are talking about.
there's a high school by my house. I haven't done this for a few years. I did it twice. There's a high school. It's the closest high school to my house, which so I somehow get a news. I didn't go to this high school. I don't know. I mean, it's just because I live in the proximity of the building that I'm on some mailing list of the immediate neighborhood, and they
Oh,
have like a
okay.
community day, and
That's
it's
cool.
yeah, and so it's like it's always on some like Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the fall or something,
Right, yeah, it's like
and
some weird
then
shit like that.
they send you a notice in the mail, and then it tells you come on over, and then you go over there, and there's no meeting, there's no presentation. It's just you get to go in for free and eat the school lunch.
Oh,
Or and
okay.
it's for dinner. It's only for adults, and it's at like 7 p.m. It's not during the school day.
Right.
So I go over
Yeah.
there and get my sloppy Joe and my spaghetti and my
That's
salad and my
fucking
drink.
right.
Yeah, and I'm sitting
I
there
love
just by
sloppy
myself,
joes.
scarfity scarf scarf, and then I leave. I did that
Yes,
2 years in a row, and I
that's
don't know if
funny.
all school districts do that, but I think it's a move to most of your property tax is for that fucking school that you're, and I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a throwback to you, like, hey, thanks for
Yeah.
living in the area. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for paying for everything.
Because I called the
Oh my
mayor.
god.
I called the mayor of my city. They were having a teleconference, and they were broadcasting it on on the local channel. And I called in. I wanted to be on TV, so I called in,
Mhm.
and they said, "This is Rob from Millwood. What is your question, sir?" And I said, "I would like to know, as a single man with no children, why my property taxes are being used to fund schools where I do not have any stake in that." And they were
Mhm.
like, vis-a-vis the community and proper education and the raising of the property values, and they just gave me a fucking rash of shit, right? And I'm like, yeah,
Right,
I don't
yeah.
like it, and I hung up.
But I mean, that's just kind of, the way it is. And I think property taxes fund other things
Well,
like
so
in your
yeah,
immediate
it might be different in other
community.
counties, but in my county, it's like 4% fire,
Right. Yeah.
4% police, 92% education. Like, it's insane.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
fucking
crazy.
ridiculous. And I
I wonder
get
what
it.
ours are if we broke them down.
But I have all kinds of rules about parenthood. First of all, I think you should have a license. You have to have a license. You can't give birth without a license. I think that should be a thing.
Oh, well,
Also,
fuck me.
also, well, that's how it starts. Also, um, you should have to not pay. Parents should have to pay, not people that don't have kids. Why am I paying? I don't
We
understand.
already have to pay so much though. No, I
Oh, don't
mean,
have
I get what
kids.
you're saying. I know, no. I try not to complain because I don't ever want it to sound like I don't like being a parent. I love my kids and I like being their parent, but I don't want to be any other kids' parents.
Yeah,
And I generally don't like other parents either. Like there's a lot of I used to walk my kids to school when they were younger. So I would walk them every day to the school. We've always lived within walking distance of their schools. And there's so many people I just don't like. They have bad attitudes, they're snooty. I don't like other parents. I don't know what the fuck it is, but other people they have like fucking I don't know, sticks up their butts or something. People, what's wrong with people?
oh, the answer to that question, Robin, is most parents think that their kid is the special one. They're the ones that are going to go to Harvard. They're the ones that are going to do all the honors classes. They're the ones that are going to be the cheerleaders and the football players. Their kid is special. Their kid is the best. Their kid is very much better than your kid. And it's all because
Well,
they suck. And they're living vicariously through their little fucking small carbon copy, and they're going to do it the right way this time, not the way they had it.
right.
That's the reason.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'd
I
say
mean,
90% of parents are those people. I firmly
yeah,
believe it.
I can see that. I think my kids are special, but I don't like whenever I think of them, especially my 13-year-old because he's getting older, and I'm like, "Oh shit, we got to make sure he's getting good grades and like make sure he does well in high school so that he can, hopefully get a scholarship." That's
Right.
all it ever is. We don't think like, "Oh, you must go to Harvard," or
Yeah.
we try not to pressure him like that because I feel like he's at that age already where I think sometimes we do. we do pressure him, but not
It's
not
okay to
in
do it.
that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
but you
We
can
try not to be
see.
like, "You have to go to, Harvard, you have to go to Yale." We're not like that at all. We're just like, "Work hard and get an A," you know? Like, try harder,
He's off the
stuff like
payroll
that.
in 5 years. That's funny. So a lot of proper parents, in my estimation, are people that nurture and care for and learn, teach and train their children to be proper members of society, and they can put a little
For sure.
pressure on them. Get some good grades, be nice, don't get in trouble, this kind of stuff, right? But the parents who
Mhm.
are like the people I described, a big portion of that attitude is not only do you have to do well, you must crush the competition. You
Yeah,
must
no,
you must
no.
you must rise above all your other little schoolmates and be the best. And yeah, and
Terrible.
so and those kids that are like that, they didn't think of that. They were taught it. It's like racism.
Mhm.
You're not born racist. You're taught that shit, right? So
Yeah, and then it just
parents are the
goes
worst.
around and around and around, and you repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Fucking break the cycle,
And the worst parents
everybody.
of all are people that are my age. My Gen Xers are the fucking worst parents with their fucking participation trophy in the fucking hole. Everybody's got to feel good and, oh, fuck that shit. and
Right.
and oh
See,
and
everybody said that about my generation was the generation getting all of these participation trophies and shit. I'm telling you right now, as a fucking millennial, that shit never happened. I never got participation trophies. I played sports. Sports were still competitive. We still kept score. You know what I mean? Like none of
yeah,
that shit, that was all bullshit. And I don't know if maybe Gen Xers are doing that with Gen Zers, the generation after me,
yeah,
which my
yeah,
kids are in.
yeah.
But I don't see it with my kids at their schools either.
Well,
They still play
you
sports
understand
and
how
it's still
there
keep
can be
score.
a phenomena, whatever that phenomena is, that's widely spread all around planet
Right.
Earth, but
And
doesn't
it's
affect
just not
you. Right, exactly.
right. Yeah.
But for the
Yeah. I get what you're
majority,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's just
parents,
fucking
man.
crazy.
That's why
Yeah.
I advocate for license. That's going to be one of our platforms, Robin. Is
Okay.
we're
Next
gonna have
TV
license
2024.
for parenthood. Hey,
Parenthood licenses.
by the way,
Get them here.
I just realized a really fantastic thing.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
You're going to be president, and I'm going to be vice president. So
Mhm.
you do all the shit, and then 3 weeks before the election, you announce that I'm your partner. I don't have to do anything until the end.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that how it goes? Isn't that how it works?
Sure.
I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Can you say 4 years
Yeah.
or 1 or even 2 years in advance? Can you say, "Oh, this is the ticket"? Like, can you do that? I don't know if anybody's ever
I
done that.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not. We'll have to look into that.
I'm
We got
willing to
some
help.
time.
I'm willing to help, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Awesome. Good.
I just don't
Yay.
know if I want my background
We'll
looked into
figure it
that
out.
deeply because of that one thing. Whatever. What? I didn't say anything. That's not true.
I have nothing to hide in my background.
I don't think I have anything
I've
to hide.
never
My problem is if I have something to hide, I do not remember what it is
right?
because I'm
I
so
have
old.
one traffic ticket I've ever gotten in my life. One. Just one.
Oh, I've gotten 3 traffic
I
tickets. One of them was on the day Kurt Cobain died. I remember that one. And one of them was on a
oh my
Christmas.
god. Oh
And then
my god.
oh no, four. I've gotten four. Two in the
Damn,
army.
Rob, you're a
I'm a
criminal.
criminal. I'm a bad man. But I didn't inhale. Uh, and I didn't. I also haven't killed 250,000 people either. I didn't do that. Trump. So, and I'm saying 250,000 because it's not. It's only 200,000, but it'll be 250,000. It'll be like 300 by the end of the year.
Oh, don't say that. That's mean.
It's not mean. It's science.
I know.
Because they're not going
But
to come
it's
out
really
all of a sudden
morbid
magically tell people to wear
when you
masks.
say it that way.
I know. It's
It's
bad.
really morbid.
Very
Okay. All
morbid.
right.
We should run as Republicans. That'll just blow everybody away. Anyway, so
No. I wish we could just run as like moderates or
well, we're going to
centrists
probably
or
have to because the
something, but
Democratic Party is not
then
going to
you'll
fucking
never
back
win.
us. They're not going to give us
I
anything.
know.
It's so
Okay,
funny.
okay.
Like
You were saying.
there's legit people who are running for president right now whose names you do not know.
Oh yeah,
It's like a
I'm
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yesterday was voter registration day, National Voter Registration Day.
Yes.
If you're not already registered to vote, you should go do that. I mean, I'm not
And
going to tell everybody how to live their lives or whatever, but like
right,
you should
and
vote.
you can actually vote all the way till, or you can actually register to vote all the way up till November 3rd, but you have to do it in person.
Yep.
But you can register to vote online if you do it now. And because I'm so paranoid, we haven't, Washington State has been voting by mail for 12 or 15 years. We've been doing it for forever. So we get our
Yeah.
ballots in the mail, and then you
But
fill it out.
everybody's freaking out about it
I know.
now.
But I haven't got my ballot yet, and I'm like on the internet. When do Washington State? I don't want to miss it. And
Where's my ballot?
and so I did like on Facebook and on Google. Every time anything you see says voter registration, I've done it like 6 times. I go to the site and make sure I'm in there. Make sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so panicked.
Riddle me this, Rob.
Okay, I'm ready.
Rob.
Yes.
Riddle me this.
I'm ready.
If you can, as an American, you can file your taxes 3 different ways. I'm going to tell you the ways.
Okay.
Online, by mail, or at a tax place. Whatever that counts. Like have somebody else do your taxes for you. Okay.
Yeah.
You can do your taxes 3 ways. By mail, online. Why can't you vote that way? By mail, online, or at a ballot at a polling place.
First, let me say I agree with you, but secondly, the argument is because there's a timeline involved that affects many people rather than just yourself. So taxes, if you're past April 15th,
kind of like taxes.
But that only affects you. It doesn't affect all of America. It's just you that can pay your taxes.
Okay.
But if your vote isn't counted, that affects everybody basically. So that's the argument.
So they put a timeline on it?
Well, I agree.
And if you don't vote by that timeline, you don't get to vote.
Like,
my God.
I'm pretty pissed off that they're saying this will be the first time in history, well, except for Gore Bush, but this will be the first time in history that we know in advance we will not know the results on November 3rd. That's fucked up. Right. I don't like that. Because I don't want to vote and then, I mean, first of all, I'm going to be voting in October. I'm going to vote as early as I can. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I just think you should be able to vote online. You should be able to vote by mail. You should be able to vote at a polling place at a location. This fucking dumb that you can't. The internet has been a thing for like 50 years now.
No, it's not 50
years. It was an exaggeration for comedic effect, Rob. You're supposed to, you're so funny, Robin. Okay.
You're so funny.
There we go. Okay, that went better.
26 years.
But do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can shop online. You can. It's just so fucking dumb.
Well, now if you live in South Carolina, you're supposed to vote in the mail and go vote in person. That's the instructions.
Oh, you can't do that.
Remember? Did you hear about that?
No. Can't do that.
Fucking Trump told his supporters, let's check to see how good the system is. Go ahead and vote by mail, then go vote in person. And if the system works, they won't allow you to vote in person. He's fucking telling people to commit a felony, is what he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's also told people to like drink chemicals that are bad for you and a lot of other things.
We can find a way to get the sunshine in through the skin. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's called going outside. But
I hear if we inject chemicals, it cures it in 1 minute. He fucking said this. People just I'm actually not as mad at him personally, Donald J. Trump, as I am the blind fuckers who just follow everything he says. That's my problem.
Yeah. But I mean, that's
welcome to Politics Central, everybody.
Though. That's true for any politician. As a left-leaning person myself, I don't really like Biden. So, but I am obligated to vote for him because the other option is Trump.
Yeah, well, in 2016, I think a lot of people made the mistake of they didn't really care about Donald Trump winning. They just didn't want Clinton to win.
Right.
They voted. A lot of people didn't vote for Trump. They voted against Clinton.
Right.
And now, how do they feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. There was a great skit on South Park about it, where your options are a turd or a shit sandwich. I don't remember the terms they used. Somebody who watches South Park religiously will probably pipe in and correct me. But yeah, they compared the options of Clinton versus Trump to be like that of a turd or a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
So, which one will you pick? They both suck. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. I actually haven't heard people. I don't think people want to talk to me about politics. I think it's difficult for people to talk to me about it, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard people say what their reason is. I know there's people that don't like Biden, but I don't know what anybody's reasons are. I don't hear. I just hear people say, "Well, yeah, Trump sucks, but Biden's no better." And I'm like, "Really? Like why?" But nobody's told me what their reasons are. And I
I would
actually.
be happy to tell you
Oh, you want to
mine,
tell me
just
what your reasons are?
not on stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't known
But
the winner of election day for many years. There have been absentee ballots since the Civil War. Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but the winner of the election, it has to be certified by Congress, like
yeah.
2 weeks later, right?
Yeah.
That's why you vote on. That's why you vote on the first Tuesday in November and not like the last Friday in December. That's the reason. They need time.
Yeah.
But by counting what is available on election night, they can pretty much tell, like, oh, it's definitely this person, and then usually the other person will call and concede, right?
Yeah.
So the only time I guess that didn't happen in our lifetime was the 2000 with Bush and Gore, but then Gore did call Bush and he conceded, and they said okay.
Right.
But yeah. So, but with this election, they're saying they're going to allow, because of the overwhelming amount of personnel it's going to take to count votes that are mailed in, they're going to allow mail-in votes that are postmarked by 8 p.m. on November 3rd to be counted for up to like so many days after. So, and since it's going to be a really huge number of people, it might affect the outcome based on what we're all going
Yeah.
to be watching on CNN, like at midnight on
Right.
November 3rd, right?
So
Yeah,
you're
I don't
better
know.
off just watching on the day after, right?
Well, I
Like,
mean, yeah, unless what I think's going to happen is they're going to project that Joe Biden gets like 340 electoral votes, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, we don't think there's any question here." That's what I
right,
think's
right,
going to
right.
happen, but it
But I
might not.
meant on the chance that it's a close race
Right.
because Trump supporters are crazy. Um,
Don't
yeah,
want to
I
tell
wonder
me off
how that will
stream.
play.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you.
No, I mean it's true though. Trump supporters are crazy.
Well, they
I stand by
demonstrate
that.
their craziness by
Mhm.
showing up to rallies with no personal protection, no social distancing. Um, they demonstrate their craziness by speaking highly of a president who promised, middle America workers and farmers and coal miners and stuff all brand new jobs and all higher pay, and it's never there. And him dicking around with the economy because the only thing he cares about are ratings and the stock market is high.
Money.
And how many people do you know personally that are in the stock market actively? Nobody. Nobody is.
Nobody.
It's all fucking rich
Because
people,
I live
right?
in middle class
Right.
America.
And the only thing he cares about are the billionaires and the millionaires that are his buddies. And I mean, he's done some things that are worth, like, I think the peace agreement thing from the other day, I thought that was awesome. But he fucking barely had anything to do with that. He
Yeah.
takes credit for it, but it wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't him in the meetings. It wasn't him
Right.
talking to those people. It was his other
Yeah.
people. And then he says, "Oh, look what I did." But I mean, people with their mega hats, they just follow him, and I really just don't understand it. I don't, like, no Trump supporter that I know can say, "Oh, Rob, well, the reason is, this and that and the other. He did these great things, and I really appreciate and I follow that." And I haven't had anybody tell me, Maja, it's Maja, make America great again.
Maja.
But I just and that like 45% of the country loves him. It's insane.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I know. I don't.
And when you ask
Ugh.
him, when you ask people who support Trump, like, is your life better now than it was 4 years ago? They go, well, but he's gonna. And I go, no, just answer the question, and they won't answer you. And then the other thing, he's got all these commercials like, this is what it's going to be like in Joe Biden's America with like police and riot footage and whatever. And then my answer to that is, you mean like it is right now under your watch? Like fucking
in
people
Trump's
are so
America.
stupid. People are dumb.
Like they burned down the courthouse in a town not that far from me.
Yeah.
Protesters and rioters. Like,
yeah.
This is Trump's America.
The Constitution allows us a peaceful protest.
To be fair.
Yeah. The Constitution says
to be fair, protests, riots, that kind of stuff happens no matter who the president is.
Right. Well, and there's a difference between the two, right? Like peaceful protests where you gather and stand in the middle of the town and say stuff, that's protected under the Constitution. Burning down the fucking police station is not protected under the Constitution. That's not a thing. Not. And they're two separate groups of people, and what the Republicans all try to say is that's all the same people. Antifa. Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah, and it's always leftists. It's always,
Yeah.
extremists.
Oh, and by the way, Robin, we have to be careful when we run for office because we want to make sure that we let everyone know up front that we're baby-eating pedophiles who work in the basement of the pizza joint. We have to tell them up front. We have to make it not a secret.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to make sure they know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. All right, got it.
Yeah.
It's on the record now.
It's on the record.
I
posted on Facebook. I said something like, oh my God, my Twitter feed and I'm going to have to scrub that whole thing. I said, oh God, what did I say? I said something about, I guess since I'm going out of the house, I'll be a pedophile today, but then excuse me, I have to go eat a baby. I forget what I said, but it ended with I have to go eat a baby. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Rob.
I'm not gonna do it. It's because it's comedy.
I know.
Yeah. Tragedy plus time
from
equals
your
comedy.
Sinful ways.
Oh
my God.
You don't have to admit it. It's obvious. That's funny. All right. Well, we did 2 hours. That's enough, isn't it?
That was great. Oh, geez. Okay. Bye, Rob.
Did you
great time here.
Fuck off. Did you watch the last week's show, Robin?
No, but what happened was I was gonna watch it today, but my average day, right? On an average day is I hang out in the living room with my little toddler. He takes a nap at like 11 to noon, and then he sleeps until like 1. So when he's napping, I get on my laptop and I do Fantasy Grounds work. Right. And then when he wakes up from his nap, we hang out. Sometimes we play outside. Sometimes we go to the little playground, or sometimes we stay here and, we play, build blocks. So, okay, I have a fucking toddler. They require a lot of attention. Okay. And anyway, so after his nap today, I was like, I could probably sit here and watch it on YouTube. And I pulled it up. I shit you not. I was going to watch it. And then I realized we were out of wipes, like baby wipes. And I was like, oh, fuck. That's not going to fly.
Situation. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not the kind of person, I don't like running out of things. I would rather, if I'm getting low, buy a new one so that when that one is empty, I have more already. You know what I mean? I always have a backup box of tissues. We always have toilet paper. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, fuck, I have to go to the store. So in order to go to the store, because I have to take the toddler with me, I also have to take my oldest son with me because my toddler is very, he can be very bad and throw temper tantrums and what. So I need another person in case he's like trying to climb out of the cart, and I'm grabbing something off the shelf. You know what I mean? Like it's just for my own peace of mind. I take my older son with me. So I'm like, hey, we gotta go to the store. He's like, dang, I was playing video games. Well, too fucking bad. We gotta go to the store. So, I haul them, all of them, to go to the fucking store. And sure as shit, my toddler, as soon as we walked into Walmart, he just started crying. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, is this going to be my day today? So, yeah. He's like crying his head off. I'm like trying to just hurry through, and I'm like pulling up little baby videos on my phone, like trying to get him to stop crying. Please stop crying. So, anyways, we make it through Walmart. We're in the checkout, and then I tell I have my son. I'm like, hey, just take him out to the car ahead of me while I'm checking out. So my 13-year-old, bless his heart, he's so fucking helpful. He takes the toddler out because he's just having his little meltdown. Long story short, sorry, Rob. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I have no fucking time to do anything that I want to do. I have to do everything for everybody else. Okay, there you go.
And that's called being a
That
mother.
was my day. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my day. Like leading up, because when I got home, I had to, I got McDonald's. I was like, I'm not cooking tonight. Fuck cooking. So I got McDonald's on the way home.
I do
We
that
ate
every
our
night. Fuck
dinner.
cooking.
We ate our dinner. I put the baby to bed, and then I was like, I have to brush my hair and put a clean shirt on, and then it was showtime. So here we are now.
Showtime. I know the show must go on no matter what.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, so there's a little taste of my life for you. If you enjoyed that, I've got plenty more where that came from.
You mean you've lived other days except for today? Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. So, there you go. My drink is empty now.
Get that last drop. Don't let Messi have it.
It's empty. Well, he was like, well, how much soda is left in there?
Yeah, because he wants it.
It's empty. Empty. There was some mukbang for you.
Mukbang.
We haven't done mukbang on the show in a long time.
What was that was happening the other day? Oh, it was yesterday. And I was eating here.
Animal crackers?
No, it's Bugles.
Oh, Bugles. Okay.
And
you usually have the little frosted animal crackers.
Oh yeah, I haven't had those for a couple months. And I was like, mukbang. People get off on there.
So weird.
But when I was doing it yesterday, I was, eating and
I'm not trying to kink shame. If that's your thing, more power to you.
Oh, I was thinking about that was gonna come out wrong. I won't say that. I was thinking about the show. And I was gonna say something. And I've already forgotten what this is, but I had already prepared to say whatever I was going to say and then say no kink shaming because we don't do that.
Yeah.
But I already forgot what it was going to be about.
No kink shaming. I know sometimes I realize that I'll say things that could be construed as kink shaming where, you're like, you're eating, you say, some people get off on that and I'm like, ew, gross. I realize my ew, gross comment could be taken as kink shaming. I just want to say, I don't mean it in a kink shaming way. If that's your kick, if that's what floats your boat, all more power to you. It's just not my thing.
Right. If you
so that's what I mean by
you go gross. Right ahead and enjoy it while I throw up in my mouth a little bit. That's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to defend myself. I will never kink shame somebody, or I don't like fat shaming. I don't like, when people are like, oh, well, that girl is so hot and that girl's not so hot. I fucking hate that shit because I experienced that my whole life. So yeah, I don't. None of that. Okay, that's all.
No, I can't eat this because I'm gonna go get Wendy's 4 for $4.
Yeah, go get your Wendy's.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
And my
Thanks
little
for
free Frosty that I get the coupon with.
The show was great tonight. Thanks, chat, for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks everybody. The show's always fun.
We love you all.
And
I
we
love
learned
this
that
show.
McClancy reads on planes. That used to be a thing, but he's not related to Tom Clancy. The things that used to be a thing: movie theaters, restaurants, planes.
3 more hours.
Bane wants 3 more hours. Oh my god!
I don't know if they want 3 more hours. I think they know us that we could totally go for 3 more hours.
We can go.
Wow,
when's the next show? Friday. We could totally go till Friday. We could do a 24-hour stream for charity.
My game is on Friday. You have a game on Friday, but I'm playing a game on Friday.
Tomorrow's the day I have
with Drake.
I have to come up. Yeah, with Drake. Tomorrow's
with
the day.
Drake. Wow, you sounded really disappointed when you said.
No, I just was reconfirming because I already knew from earlier.
Okay.
I didn't say it like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. With Drake.
With Drake. Oh, we love you, Drake. if you're
So,
still here.
Thursday is the day I have to come up with a tip, and then put the graphic together, and then send it out, and then do the tweets for the show. And now the Friday show, they changed it. It's not at noon Eastern anymore. It's at like some other different time. Later, Friday night, it's at 8:00.
Wait, you haven't picked a tip for tomorrow?
No, I always do it for the next day. Like I do it on Thursday for the Friday, but no, I haven't thought of one.
I have a
out of
tip
it.
for you.
Okay, I'm out of material.
But it's entirely possible it's already been a tip.
Oh, I can
but I
tell
have
you
a
if it
tip for
has.
you. Just a tip.
Just the tip, just for a minute. We're gonna play a game just called Just the Tip, just for a minute. Okay.
Okay. All right. My tip is this, and it will make a lot more sense if you also include a little, picture like you do. But the tip I was gonna give, because I just realized this: if you have items that recharge, yes, we're going back to this, Rob. You're
Okay.
probably
Yes,
already
I'm
rolling
familiar.
your eyes.
No.
If you have items that recharge with a dice number every day, instead of setting their on the preparation tab, instead of setting them to daily recharge, set it to once and then roll your dice every long rest and then untick the boxes. Because otherwise, if you set it to daily recharge, it's just going to recharge all of them when you rest instead of the dice number you're supposed to roll.
All right, I'm gonna tell you
I'll
something.
type it out for you to make sense.
Okay, send
That's
it
my
to
tip.
me in Discord. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna tell you right now. You ready?
Okay.
That is an excellent tip.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome to the stream.
It's how we have to play it.
Zach Larson, 13. I hope that the 13 doesn't mean either your age or that you were born in 2013. I hope that's not what that's for. We like you to be 18 or older.
My 8-year-old was born in 2012.
2012.
That was a word vomit there. Okay.
Hey, by the way,
so if you were born in 2013, you're only 7.
Don't you think that the numbers 11 and 12 should actually be 1-teen and 2-teen? I do.
My toddler thinks they should be 1-teen.
I think we all think that when we're kids. So let's just get with it.
Actually, no, he says 11 now, but I think a few months ago he would say 1-teen, 2-teen, 13. Well, he says 3-teen. He's 2, okay? So don't judge.
I agree. You tell him I said. Uncle Rob says yes. I fully support it.
Yes. He says 11 now, and he says it really cute. He says 11. Like there's always a pause in it. I fucking love it. I think it's adorable. I don't ever want him to stop.
So my sister's kid says, he doesn't say tomorrow. He says next day, and he says last day. And then he's like 8. And then you tell him, you mean yesterday? And he goes, yeah, yesterday, last day. And he's basically telling you, I'm doing it the way I want.
Okay,
fucker.
still connected.
Yeah.
Right. My 8-year-old, my favorite thing when he was little, like 3, he used to say handsitizer for hand sanitizer. He used to call it handsitizer. Yeah, it was the cutest shit ever, Rob. I was really sad when he stopped saying it that way. But yeah, now he says hand sanitizer because we corrected him one too many times. Oh.
So when I was a little kid,
sanitizer. It's so cute.
I said,
sorry,
my mom would run the vacuum cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And I would put my hands over my ears and I would say, Kano hurts me. So vacuum was Kano. Because I got cane, vacuum, cane. I don't know where I got it.
Sure. Okay.
And then my mom and I, when I was a little tiny 4 or 5, we would get in a fight. We would have pillow fights. And one of us would hit the other person with the pillow and say, pido. And the other person had to hit the other person and say, pedo. So it was pedo until someone gave up, which was usually her. Because I was 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, all right, enough of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of stories about my mom.
That's cute. Aww. Little kids are cute, and then they grow up.
Yeah.
And then they're adults. And adults aren't cute. I don't know.
I think adults aren't as cute,
like
but they're way more valuable.
Sure. Yeah.
Kids.
Right.
What do they get? What do they provide? Unconditional love? Fuck that.
With my 13-year-old, whenever we interact now, I never have moments where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute," because he's 13 and the cuteness is gone. But on the flip side, when I talk to him now, I'm like, "Dude, you're so cool." Like, we get along so well, we have a lot in
Yeah.
common, and I think of him more as, I mean, I know he's not an adult, and I don't expect him to act like an adult, but I view him more as an equal now because he's so much older and so much more mature. And then my 8-year-old, my 2-year-old, I'm still like, "Oh my gosh, you're so fucking cute," they do cute things or they say cute things, but I realize now that I haven't really, I guess, felt that way about my 13-year-old. It's, just as he's gotten older, I guess our, parent-child relationship has just changed, and it's
Right.
it's really interesting to kinda, like, see that happen. But, yeah, he's fucking cool. Like, my 13-year-old, he's a cool kid, and I'm, like, proud of him, and proud of the person that he's becoming. He's fucking awesome. When you
Just
meet
don't
him, Rob,
just don't push him to go to
someday
Harvard. Don't push him. Don't be
when
one
you
of those
meet him
parents.
someday, you'll be like, "Wow, your kid is cool." Like, he's polite, he's not a little fucking asshole. And he likes D&D, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
And yeah, and like he has all these really cool ideas for like games and stuff, and he wants to make a game, which I think is really cool. And he talks to me about it all the time, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Parenting win. All right. Anyways, that's all. I'm done. Yeah.
Well, there has to be some good parents out there, so good for you.
Right? Yeah.
Because you got to
Mhm.
counterbalance the world the way other. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a parent, right? So I can't really say for sure, but I've always just known deep in my soul that being a parent, I don't know. There's just something about it that, I mean, well, so I was gonna say there's something about it that doesn't appeal to me, but I would
Mhm.
want to change that to say there's nothing about it that appeals to me.
I
I
mean,
I do
there's stuff that
understand that
doesn't appeal to me either. I don't like changing diapers.
I
Fuck
I
that
do
shit.
understand that, there's got to be some people to put into Social Security for me, but I've always I've always
Yes, I
thought
mean,
that if somehow the world became a sterile place and humanity just died out,
mm.
I'd be fine with it. I'm fine with it.
See, I don't know. To me, that sounds so scary. But, I am aware that there's too many humans on
Yeah.
Earth. There's too many of us. We've done too
7.8
much
billion.
bad shit to the Earth too. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I am a human and I want to live. I want to live as long as I can too. So in that, I have that like that I don't know natural want for my race to not die. But
Eh.
I
Yeah.
know, and you're like, "Yeah, whatever." I
Well,
just
because I mean, so if I had children, I might feel differently, right?
right,
But
yeah,
when you ask
sure.
people why have kids, like why, and they go, well, to perpetuate the species. But and it's like, well, when you're dead, who cares? And they're like,
True.
well, yeah. So and then
Yeah.
uh, invariably people will give you answers about why it's important to have a younger generation, and their answers all revolve around the end result being so it's good for that person. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I've always just felt that, making a carbon copy of yourself seems unnecessary. Uh
Right.
Undecided. Bane, why are
I
you
don't know,
saying
I'm pretty
undecided?
fucking awesome.
Well, and I think that's what happens to parents, right? The child is born and then you're instantly in love, and like I don't know
It is
that.
not instant. That is a fucking lie.
I think for
That's some
fathers it
fucking
is.
Hollywood movie
I
shit.
think it's for
No,
fathers. No?
not a
Okay.
lot. Nope, nope, not even true for fathers. Nope, I can promise you that.
So I'm in the delivery
I
room
knew a guy.
and there's my mother, not my mother, but the mother on the bed delivering the baby, and the baby comes out and I say, "Oh, I knew this was going to be a huge mistake."
No, I mean, okay, but I think that maybe that does happen for some people. And for the record, that's valid, right? All feelings are valid. If that's how you feel, fine. I sound like such a fucking millennial right now. I don't care. It's true though. You are allowed to feel however you want to feel. So if when your kid is born, if you feel regret, that's fine. How you work through that is what matters more than what you feel in that moment. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So yeah, some people have a baby and they don't feel that fucking magic moment the first time they see their kid. But I think that's normal. I think that's it. A lot of people, take a relationship, an adult relationship, right? When you first meet somebody, you don't just instantly know, oh, I love this person. You know what I mean? You have to like date them, get to know them, make sure you're compatible, and then you're like, I do love this person. It's the same way with kids because kids are
That's
people
what my
too.
problem is. I fall in love with everybody right away the first 2 seconds. Uh, so I wonder how many times in history it's happened where the baby is delivered and then either one of the parents go, "No, that's okay. You keep
I
it."
mean, it happens all the
Does it
time.
happen?
That's how you get deadbeat dads and deadbeat
But I
moms
mean, in the
because
hospital room, they just refuse to take the kid.
Ugh.
Yeah, like, you know what?
well,
This wasn't what I thought it was. Never mind.
well,
And then they get up and leave.
so with my oldest son, his biological father, who's not my husband, he was
Right.
invited to come see the baby the day he was born, and he never came. So he never signed a birth certificate or anything. So, I mean, there are people out there who just don't fucking care
Yeah.
that they have kids. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always thought I might get a knock and there'll be some 30-year-old standing like, like, "Hey,
Are you
Dad."
my dad?
Yeah. Which would
Oh,
be cool. If I had an
right.
adult child, that would be the fucking coolest. I just
You
don't want
just
to deal with
skip
the first
everything.
18. Yeah, I don't want to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'll
Yeah.
regret
I'm
it
not a
because
big
on
fan
on my deathbed I'll be
of
alone.
like
And then I'll be like, should have had some kids. Yeah.
right. Aw. Like I'll say I agree with you in that I'm not a fan of the first 4 years. Like years 1 through 4 to me are just the worst.
Yeah.
And there's other people out there who will be like, "I love babies and I love toddlers." That shit's not for me. Not for me at all. I don't once they can like talk and understand what you're saying to them and follow directions, I'm golden. Like after that, I'm great. Like if I tell
Yeah,
you
I
to sit
think
down and calm down and you can do that, like follow that direction, we're good. We're golden. But before that, prior to that, like cognitive milestone, it's I just it's too much for me and sometimes I don't cope very well.
yeah, see, and if there's an alive being in your house whose major function is to shit and throw up,
Mhm.
that's not fun. I don't know why
Yeah,
that
it's
would be
not
fun
fun.
for anybody.
It's not fun at all. Babies are cute. They have their moments where they're fucking cute, and you're like, "Oh, that's so cute." And I think they're made that way so that you don't murder them.
Yeah, babies are cute so that you don't murder them. It's exactly
Yeah,
why they're cute.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're fucking cute so
But
that
have
you
you ever
don't
had
murder
somebody
them.
say, "Oh, here, this is my son. He's 2 months old," and they show you the picture, and you're like, not cute. What do I say here?" Yeah.
I have seen ugly babies, unfortunately. Yes, they do
Ooh, how is
exist.
that kid still alive? Oh, yeah.
Terrible. Oh, yeah. Okay,
So,
we said we were gonna go like
yeah, 20
25
minutes ago.
minutes ago.
Yeah. All right. So there you go, everybody.
We did
Robin and I will
it.
be
We
back.
we gave people what they wanted.
Yeah,
There was an
Robin and I will be
encore.
back next Wednesday, and also Tuesday, and also Sunday, and every day. Okay. Um, yeah, that's right, everybody. And
You guys are
so,
amazing.
thanks for watching, guys and gals and ladies and gentlemans and ma'ams and
Mhm.
sirs and everybody. And
Mhm.
um, good gaming, everyone.